Mic check, mic check. 1 2 1 2. If I can be heard, y'all spin a Vortex up in the chat. If I can be heard, DGG still cooking. I know what time it is, man. All praise to the great spirit, the creator, the God maker, making sons, moon, and stars. All praise to the great spirit. It always was, is, and ever shall be. The Almighty, the ever-present, the omnipotent, the omniscient, omnipresent, ever-present. And guess what? Ain't nobody ever seen. Man, if that ain't cold, I don't know what it is. You everywhere but nowhere, far but near. Fill all space and place. Hey, point them out. I ain't never seen it. Man, that's dope. I'm glad y'all can hear it. Y'all go ahead and hit that like button, thumbs up, share. The algorithm tweaking around this deal, let them know the gang is still cooking. Y'all see the title? Book of Judgment, Part 9. Faithists, Idolaters, and Infidels. Which one for you? There's only 3 doctrines in the world. There's only 3. You either a faithist, you an idolater, or you an infidel. Today's class, you understand by no uncertain terms which one you are. There's only 3 doctrines in the world. Not 4, 5, 6, 7. Nah. It's only 3. You either a faithist, idolater, or infidel. Stick around today. We're gonna find out what's what. You know what I mean? Also, we got From Darkness to Determination, a practical guide on conquering depression and trauma by your little brother, by yours truly, published February this year, early this year. You can get it directly from me, or you can get it off Amazon. The description links are in, or the purchase links are in the description box. You dig? Or you can reach out to Malaki, let me get one of them. This is all good. But yeah, y'all share this on out. We're gonna get started in a minute. CGG still cooking. Right.
John not dead, him not dead, him live on and on and on and on. Yo. John not dead, him not dead, him live on. In the heart of man, John not dead, him not dead, him live on and on and on and on. Yo, John not dead, him not dead, him live on.
Peace. This your host, Selah Shalom, and this is a Cosmon Teachings in the Words of Jehovah and His Angel Ambassadors from the Cosmon Bible.
Time to go to Selah Shalom University real quick. Y'all tap in with our brother. You probably be in the chat later on. You know what I mean? Y'all like, subscribe, share. A video put out about 12 years ago. And this playlist is the Cosmogony and Prophecy part. And this is part 4, the beginning of Our Heaven and Earth. Short video, ain't too long. But salute to the brother for putting in all that pain these years. You know what I mean? That's good.
John not dead, him not dead, him live on and on and on and on. Yo, John not dead, him not dead, him live on. In the heart of man, John not dead, him not dead, him live on and on and on and on. Yo, John not dead, him not dead, him live on.
Peace, peace. This your host, Selah Shalom, and this is a Cosmon Teachings in the Words of Jehovah and His Angel Ambassadors from the Cosmon Bible Owaspy. And the topic of discussion today is the Cosmogony and Prophecy Series Part 4, the beginning of our heaven and earth. Now, we are all familiar with the creation story in the Bible, how God created the heavens and the earth in 6 days or 6,000 years. But as I have proven through past documentaries that this creation story is false. But here in Owaspy, it will explain how planetary bodies are created, and these rules apply to all planetary bodies, only differing in size, shape, speed, and velocity. Again, as I have been saying, the vortex is the first cause of creation. The first thing to acknowledge is that the heavens and the earth could not exist without the sun's vortex. First. Another thing, the heavens and the earth could not exist without the vortex to support it. So before there was a heaven and earth, the vortex was in the process of gathering in the minerals to formulate the heavens and the earth. And when the minerals became condensed enough to manifest warmth, heat, and light and shadow, it is called a comet. And even the comet resembles the sperm cell prior to its full development. Some comets' vortex are not strong enough to maintain its form, and they are dissipated back to a gas state, its original form. But if the comet's vortex is strong enough, it will continue to grow into a planet, as described again in the book of Jehovah, chapter 4, verse 15 and 16. Verse 15, first, as vapor, the vortex carries it forth, and as it condenses, its friction engenders heat, and it is molten, becoming as a globe of fire in heaven. This is the first stage of all corporeal bodies, whether sun, planets, moons, stars, or comets. This is the formation for all of them, and it is at this state that it is a comet, being a ball of fire in heaven, basically a sun, depending on, again, its size. Then it takes place as a newborn world, and I set it in the orbit prepared for it. So here, after it is a globe of fire, a comet, and receives its own orbit, it evolves into a planetary body, the same way the sperm cell evolves into a mortal body. Now, verse 16, in the next age I bring it into Simu, for it is ripe for the bringing forth of living creatures, and I bestow the vegetable and animal kingdoms. So this verse describes how the planet is now inhabitable to support vegetation and life. So this is to show the function and growth of a planet from a vortex of vapor to a comet to a planet. Now, our earth is subjected to cycles of times and seasons. This is what the Bible does not tell you. Our earth goes through 4 ages, which can be compared to the 4 seasons, and the length of one age is 144,000 years. The first age is called the time of creation, which can be compared to the spring season of the earth, which lasts 144,000 years. The second age is called the inhabitable time for the living, which can be compared to the summer season of the earth, which lasts 144,000 years. The third age is called the time of barrenness, which can be compared to the fall season, which lasts 144,000 years. The fourth age is the time of rest, which can be compared to the winter season of the earth, which lasts 144,000 years. These 4 ages total to 576,000 years, which makes up what we call one garden. These same rules apply to every corporeal body, differing in years. So Mars may have 200,000 years for their ages, while we on Earth have 144,000 years for our age, just as an example of how the rules are still the same, just differing in time. Now, these 4 cycles repeat no different than how our 4 cycles repeat every year. Understanding this, you would come to the conclusion that the heavens and the earth have been created, inhabited, in barrenness, and destroyed several times over, exactly 8 times according to the 8 gardens, which the 8 gardens is the orbit of the solar system. So when we apply the 4 ages to our present time, it will be discovered that we are in the second age, the inhabitable time for the living on earth. So in the first age, it took our earth 144,000 years to be created, from a vortex of vapor to a planet suitable for living creatures in only 144,000 years, not the million years as popular belief. And being that we live in the inhabitable age of the planet, which is only 144,000 years, we are at the halfway point of our inhabitable time. And half of 144,000 years is 72,000 years, which is the time period mortals been on the planet in this present garden. And this present garden is the seventh garden, but I'll explain that in another vid. And from the creation of the heavens, of the earth, to the present time is 216,000 years, which would shock the world if they found out that the earth was so young. Many of you will flat out disbelieve it until you start understanding the timetables of prophecy and Jehovah's cycles, times, and seasons. So the mortal race is not even 100,000 years old, let alone 1,000,000 years. We are very young to the planet, and the planet is very young, although popular belief say otherwise. And with that, I'd like to say peace and blessings and catch you on the next documentary called The 4 Ages of the Earth, the true creation story. Shalom.
Jah not dead, him not dead, him live on and on and on and on. Yo, Jah not dead, him not dead, him live on. In the heart of man, Jah not dead, him not dead, him live on and on and on and on. Yo, Jah not dead, him not dead, him live on. Jah not dead, him not dead, him live on and on and on and on. Yo, Jah not dead, him not dead, him live on. In the heart of man, Jah not dead, him not dead, him live on and on and on and on. Yo, Jah not dead, him not dead, him live on.
Peace, peace. This your host, Selah Shalom. And this is a Cosmon Teachings in the words of Jehovah and his angel ambassadors from the Cosmon Bible Owaspy. And this is the Cosmogony and Prophecy Series Part 5, entitled The 4 Ages of the Earth. Here I will be explaining the cosmic cycle and the true timeline of mortals on Earth. The BC, before Christ, and AD, after the death of Christ, concept is a false concept of time. First, it is false by starting the counting backward through history and then counting forward through history. That is totally backwards and off. Now here is the real issue of this matter concerning times and seasons and cycles. The solar system travels in an orbit, which the orbit is broken down into 8 sections called the 8 gardens. One garden is made up of 576,000 years. One garden is broken down into 4 ages. The 4 ages are compared to the 4 seasons. The first age is called the time of creation. The second age is the inhabitable time for the living on earth. The third age is the time of barrenness on earth. And the fourth age is the time of rest and destruction on earth. Now, one age of 144,000 years has 6 Gadol degree periods of 24,000 year period. A Gadol is equivalent to what they call a precession. Every 24,000 years, the Earth vortexian temperature declines 1 Gadol degree. The Gadol degrees start in the first age at a temperature of 105 degrees and start declining through the ages. The fourth age being the last age, the Gadol degrees would have dropped to 82 Gadol degrees. These Gadol degrees have to do with the planetary temperature decline every 24,000 years or every precession. And proof of this is like the dinosaurs. At the time of the dinosaurs, the Earth vortexian temperature produced a greater amount of heat compared to today, which shows a proof in decline of planetary temperature. The dinosaurs wouldn't be able to exist today because the temperature would be too low for them to survive. Now, one age of 144,000 years is broken down into 2 halves of 72,000 years, called the first half and the second half. Now, a half age is further broken down into 3 periods of 24,000 years, which is the Gadol periods. To show that a Gadol is 24,000 years, in the Book of Knowledge, chapter 4, verse 17, it states, verse 17, by Jehovah's mastery over his person created he countless worlds, of which the corporeal earth is one, and he created the living thereon, and the time was 1 Gadol, 24,000 years. So this verse shows how the living was created in a 24,000 year time period. Now a Gadol is further broken down into 2 periods of 12,000 years called an era. And again, these eras are broken down into arc cycles of 3,000 year periods. And these arc cycles are broken down to 400 year periods called times and 200 year periods called half times. And then to further break it down to the lowest common denominator, which is the basis for prophecy, is the 11-year cycles and the 33, 66, and 99 being sub-cycles. So this is just a quick breakdown of the 4 ages to all corporeal bodies, just differing in time of years. Now I will apply the 4 ages with the history of mortals to show you how these prophecies work, based off the timetables of prophecy. Now the earth was created in a period of 144,000 years, starting from a vapor of vortex to a globe of fire to becoming a world suitable to bring forth living creatures. All took place in the first age, being the time of creation. Now, when was mortals created on earth? Applying the 4 ages again, this would be the first age, the time of creation, being 144,000 years. Now, one age of 144,000 years has 6 Gadol periods. In the first age, the Gadol degrees are from 105 Gadol degrees to 99 Gadol degrees. So this was the planetary temperature in the first age. So out of the 6 Gadol degrees, which one was mortals created in? To get this answer in the book of Cosmogony and Prophecy, chapter 5, verse 17 and 19, it states, verse 17, place the Simuan age, the Simuan age is the time of creation, at 99 degrees, the time of quickening animal life. So here it gives the time for quickening animal life, being a Gadol degree of 99, which is the 6th Gadol degree of the first age. So the last 24,000 years of the first age, animal and mortals came forth on the earth. And verse 19 states, to find the Simuan age, time of creation, especially of man, place his temperature at 98 for good health, and 102 at inflammation or death. 4 below normal will therefore be the period of man's inhabitation on the earth. After the Vortexian radiation reaches this period, man will cease to propagate and so become extinct as to the earth. So here it gives you the time period mortals will exist on the planet. From the Gadol degree of 99, and 4 degrees below this is 94 Gadol degrees. This makes the inhabitable time for mortals on the earth, which is the whole time period of the second age. It also states that a Gadol degree of 102 is unsuitable for mortals on the earth, and 102 Gadol degrees is the 4th Gadol in the first age, which would be too hostile for any mortal to live on the earth. So as you can see, these things are broken down specifically, applying correct planetary temperatures even for mortals' existence. So mortals would have been created in the 6th Gadol, where the planetary temperature would have been 100 to 99 Gadol degrees, suitable to bring forth the living on earth. The 6th Gadol is the last Gadol of the first age, after which the second age starts, and the second age has another 6 Gadol periods, from 99 to 94 Gadol degrees, being the inhabitable time for the living on the earth. And this is the most important time for mortals to understand, because it is here that the mortal race is at right now, the inhabitable time on earth. Now coming to the second age, the inhabitable time for mortals, this is how it is broken down. The inhabitable time for mortals on earth is 144,000 years, and a total of 48 arc cycles of 3,000 years, which in return will total to 144,000 years. So understanding the arc cycles and subcycles are a major factor for mortals in the inhabitable time on earth. It is the timekeeper. Now for every arc cycle, there is a name for it also. Now the inhabitable time for mortals on earth, being 144,000 years, is split up into 2 halves of 72,000 years, called the first half of the inhabitable time for mortals on earth and the second half of the inhabitable time for mortals on earth. And the arc cycles, being 48 in all, are split up the same way, being 24 arc cycles for the first half of the inhabitable time for mortals on earth and 24 arc cycles for the second half of the inhabitable time for mortals on earth. These arc cycles started during the creation of mortals. So the arc cycle will be read as the first arc cycle after the creation of mortals, the second arc cycle after the creation of mortals, the third arc cycle after the creation of mortals, and so on until the present time. An example of the first arc cycle is in the book of Synopsis of 16 Cycles, chapter 1, verse 5, where it states, at the time of the creation of man, the earth was traveling in the arc of Wan. So here it gives the name of the first arc cycle after the creation of mortals, called the arc of Wan. And this is the starting point for numbering and naming the arc cycles for the inhabitable time for mortals on earth. Now, as we travel down the arc cycles to the 10th arc cycle after the creation of man, which was called the arc of Nu, which is a total of 30,000 years after the creation of mortals on earth. It is during this 10th arc cycle that the earth experienced its first era of civilization. And to put this in terms for biblical readers, from the time of Adam to the first era of civilization was 30,000 years, as described in the book of the Synopsis of 16 Cycles, chapter 1, verse 18 through 21, where it states, verse 18, the 10th cycle was under Miselativa, chieftainess of the arcs Losgobat, in the arc of Nu, and her harvest was 10,800,000,000. Those are referring to spirits of the dead born from the earth up into the higher realms. Verse 19, and now the earth was full of people, and all the continents and islands of the earth were inhabited by man. nor was there left any wilderness wherein man did not dwell. Verse 20, but the generations of man had fallen from 33 years down to 12 years, and man and woman were at maturity at 7 years old, and not many lived above 30 years, but they were prolific, many of the mothers bringing forth 80 sons and daughters, and from 2 to 4 at birth. Verse 21, and man dwelt in peace, and the earth was tilled, and brought forth abundantly of everything that was good for man to eat, and to clothe himself. And there were in those days great cities of hundreds of thousands of inhabitants, thousands and thousands of such cities. And in all the 5 great divisions of the earth, meaning the 5 great continents, man built ships and sailed over the oceans in all directions, around about the whole world. By the angels of the Lord was he taught and guided in all things. And man had books, both written and printed, and the young were taught in schools, a knowledge of the sun, moon, and stars, and of all things that are upon the earth, and in the waters thereof. This was therefore called the first period of civilization on earth. So here it shows how the earth reached its first era of civilization in the 10th arc cycle after the creation of mortals, which is 30,000 years after mortals were created. And from the present time, being the 25th arc cycle going back, which would be 14 arc cycles ago, would be 42,000 years ago since the first era of civilization from the present time. Now coming to another significant arc cycle, probably the most recognized but not understood, being the 17th arc cycle after the creation of mortals, called the Ark of Noah. And it was during the beginning of the 17th arc cycle, the Ark of Noah, that the flood of waters took place, what we are all familiar with in the King James Bible. But what the Bible left out was that this flood was a sinking of a continent called Pan, as stated in Owaspy, and other historians call it Mu or Lemuria, once located in the Pacific Ocean. Owaspy explains how Noah was not a man, as portrayed in the Bible, but the name of the 17th arc cycle after the creation of mortals, the Ark of Noah. And as the Bible describes Noah having 3 sons, this is also a false claim. Owaspy explains how 12,420 souls were saved from the flood, and they were commanded to build 138 ships prior to the flood coming. And these 12,420 souls were divided up into 5 fleets of ships, 4 fleets of 34 ships, and 2 fleets of ships that were separated from the 4. And the ships carried about 90 souls to each ship. And the name of the fleets of the ships were called Shem, Ham, Japheth, Gautama, and Yesta. Now, Shem, Ham, and Japheth are names most people are familiar with because it is mentioned in the Bible, but many do not know about Gautama and Yesta. Gautama being the fleet of ships that settled in Central America, becoming the Olmecs, the Mayans, the Hopis, and all the indigenous native tribes of North, South, Central America. And Yesta being the 2 fleets of ships that settled in Japan. The Bible makes no mention of these 2 fleets, Gautama and Yesta. And Japan, the island, is a surviving piece of the continent of Pan, along with other small islands surrounding the Pacific Ocean. So that's what took place when the earth ended the 17th arc cycle after the creation of mortals, the Ark of Noah, which would be 48,000 years from the first arc cycle after the creation of mortals, the Ark of Wayne, to the 17th arc cycle after the creation of mortals, the Ark of Noah. And to put it in biblical terms for Bible readers, from the time of Adam to the flood was 48,000 years. And from the flood to the present time is 8 arc cycles, from the 17th arc cycle to the 25th arc cycle being a period of 24,000 years. And to put it in biblical terms again, from the flood of Noah to the present time is 24,000 years. And this is a general estimate because arc cycles are not all 3,000 years. Some are more, some are less, but I'm just using 3,000 years as a basis so you can get the general understanding. Now, the 18th arc cycle after the creation of mortals was the first arc cycle after the flood. The 19th arc cycle was the arc cycle of Apollo, and it was when mortals' forms changed from a primitive shape to more upright and shapely form to what it is today, as described in the Lord's 3rd book, chapter 3, verse 10, where it states, verse 10, "Now have I come to thee in Cosmon to make plain the government of heaven upon the earth, and of thy God and his angels upon the races of men. Behold, in the time of Apollo, man in his present form was brought into being on the earth. The time and season of the earth was in that day come unto that end. Even as in this day, thy Lord hath come to change man from a race of warriors to a race of peace. For now is the time and the season of the earth propitious to that end. So here this verse states that mortals in the present form came on the scene during the arc cycle of Apollo, which was the 19th arc cycle after the creation of mortals, being 57,000 years from the time of Adam in the first arc, or the Adamites, or Homo erectus, to the 19th arc, and 15,000 years from the 19th arc cycle to the 25th arc, our present time. So I'm giving you a steady track in chronology of mortals' history based off these arc cycles. Now, the 20th arc cycle after the creation of mortals was the cycle of Thor, where mortals were taught to name all things on earth, and the arts of carving and engraving images out of wood and stone. And by the naming of all things, mortals began to create a language, being a language of images and symbols. And mortals prospered in the arts during the 20th arc cycle, being 60,000 years from the first arc cycle to the 20th arc cycle. And from the 20th arc cycle to the 25th arc cycle, our present arc, is 15,000 years ago. Now, coming to the 21st arc cycle after the creation of mortals, the cycle of Asar, or Osiris, is where mortals were taught the arts of science and natural philosophy, as described in the book of Asar, son of Jehovah, chapter 13, verse 7, where it states, Asar foresaw the times and places in the future road of the earth and heaven, and that from his decrees would spring corporeal philosophies, the first of earth, whereto man should look back in after ages, saying, thence sprang the Osirian system, hence the Assyrian races. Yet he looked further on when man should become adulterers in disbelieving of spiritual things, doing worship to the sun, moon, and stars, and in very corpor profess to find the cause and foundation of all. So here this verse speaks of the Osirian cycle, where mortals prospered in the arts of science and natural philosophy. The Africans, Persians, and Chinese were the greatest nations that prospered in these arts, being the 21st arc cycle after the creation of mortals, being 63,000 years from the first arc to the 21st arc, and from the 21st arc cycle to the 25th arc cycle, our present time is 12,000 years ago. So the time of Osiris was 12,000 years ago. Now, at the beginning of the 22nd arc cycle after the creation of mortals, being 66,000 years after the creation of mortals, was the time of Zarathustra. Zarathustra was a Persian lawgiver and delivered to the races of mortals the first holy book, which would be equivalent to the Bible today. Zarathustra was born of a virgin mother. Zarathustra was called the Lamb of God, or Ormaz, which is the equivalent of the Creator in the Parsi tongue. Zarathustra was betrayed by Judas. Zarathustra was crucified between two thieves. Zarathustra returned 3 days after death and showed himself to the people, and then ascended in a cloud, basically a ship, before the people. Now, this is the same story that is given to you in the New Testament as Jesus the Christ. And as I already exposed how Constantine created the fictional character Jesus the Christ, based off ancient Eastern historian cultures, Zarathustrianism included. So Zarathustra came during the beginning of the 22nd arc cycle after the creation of mortals, being 66,000 years from the first arc to the 22nd arc. And from the 22nd arc to the 25th arc, our present time, is 9,000 years ago. So the time of Zarathustra was 9,000 years ago. Very ancient. Now, at the beginning of the 23rd arc cycle were the four great lawgivers, Abraham of Persia, Brahma of India, Po of China, and Iwata of North Gautama, or North America, were all sent to their respective places to deliver the persecuted out of bondage and to establish communities in peace and righteousness. And it is in this arc cycle, the 23rd arc after the creation of man, that the pyramids were built, along with the rise of the Kemetic dynasties, particularly in this arc cycle, the Old Kingdom and the Middle Kingdom. And this arc cycle is when the nation of the Hebrew Israelites originated from. So from the first arc cycle after the creation of mortals to the 23rd arc cycle after the creation of mortals would be 69,000 years. And from the 23rd arc cycle after the creation of mortals to the 25th arc cycle, our present time, would be 6,000 years ago. And it is this time period, 6,000 years ago, that most religious scholars start their historical recording. 6,000 years ago would be on the false timeline 4000 BC, which is the beginning of your biblical creation story. Many agree that Adam and Eve started at 4000 BC. So I'm showing you that we covered 22 arc cycle of history, and then the 23rd arc cycle is where most religious scholars begin their account of human history, being 6,000 years ago, or 4000 BC. Now, at the beginning of the 24th arc cycle after the creation of man, were the three lawgivers, Moses of Africa, Capilia of India, and Chini of China, or Japheth. And these lawgivers were sent to their respective places and delivered the persecuted out of bondage and established communities in peace and righteousness. During this arc cycle was the Exodus, the rise and fall of the nation of Israel, the rise of the new kingdom in Kemen, the time of Yeshua of Nazareth, Confucius of China, Sakya or Buddha of India, the rise of Christianity, Buddhism, Brahmanism, and Islam, all took place in the 24th arc cycle after the creation of mortals. And the ending of the 24th arc cycle, being 72,000 years, marks the halfway mark for the inhabitable time for mortals on earth. And from the 24th arc cycle to the 25th, our present, is only 3,000 years ago. So now, we are in the 25th arc cycle after the creation of mortals, beginning in the year 1848 present time, being the halfway point for the inhabitable time for mortals on earth. We are in the second half of the inhabitable time for mortals on earth, being the second half of 72,000 years before mortals become extinct to the planet. So from the creation of mortals in the first arc cycle to the 25th arc cycle, our present time is a total of 72,000 years, the time period mortals been on the earth in this present garden from his creation. And this makes up the inhabitable time for mortals on earth. After the second age comes the third age, the time of barrenness, where nothing can generate or grow on the earth, and the earth would be as a dead planet or a barrenless planet, unsuitable to support life. And then comes the fourth age, where the earth is dissipated back into its original state, which is the gas state, and then again starts over in the first age. And such are the four ages to the earth, along with all planetary bodies. And with that, I'd like to say peace and blessings and catch you on the next documentary called The Basis of the Moon Cycles. Shalom.
Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Good night, boy. Man, see lot, bro. Well, making me go meditate after listening to some of that. Why did you go sit on down, get my mind right? Shit, you gotta still look, man. After hearing high level light like that, man, you be needing to go just, let me go reflect over what I just heard. You know what I mean? These are the type of lessons you got to get your pen. You got to put your pain in. You know what I mean? Get your pen out, your notebooks, or your little iPad tablets, and whatever. And really get to studying and putting your pain in. And then, if you really think it's a game, try to debunk it. Try to debunk it. You dig? You ain't gonna do nothing but keep bumping your head against a brick wall. You talking to a brother who's tried to debunk this. Like, dang, bro, this stuff crazy. And every time, I ain't gonna lie to you, my mind get blown. I be like, whoa. Man, so salute to my brother, Selah Shalom. I think that video 12 to 15 years old. We going back to what, 2010, 2012? What the hell was you doing in 2010? Playing with your thumbs? What was you doing in 2012? Worried about the Mayan calendar about to end? The hell was you doing in 2010 to 2012? Huh? Hey, see, like, put the link to get where to get your book. The brother even got a book called The Timetables of Prophecy. You understand? Where he break it down all the way to units of 11, going all the way up to, man, yeah. What is that? 4,608,000. And then that's a small circuit. We ain't even talking about around the galactic center. Good night. We're talking about one solar orbit, 4,608,000, 4,700,000 years. See, like, drop the link to where the chat can purchase your book, Timetables of Prophecy. Y'all support the brother, man. Like you putting this stuff out 15 years ago when you was playing with your thumbs, when you was running around talking about Planet Nibiru and Planet X. Yeah. When niggas was scared that the Mayan calendar was finna end, all that was 2012. I remember when a Negro in the Israelite community, he called himself saying, the world is going to end, Ak. And Yahshua is going to return, Ak, on the Feast of Trumpets through the Day of Atonement, and then bring the New Jerusalem, the tabernacle of God, in the fall feast of 2012. Huh? I'm talking about months before the so-called Mayan calendar was supposed to end. Everybody was going crazy, drinking volcano water. Y'all remember that? Niggas was running around here drinking black water with volcanic ash in it. So while the world was losing their damn minds out here, you dig? You got our bro right here. Matter of fact, it's on the screen, man. Look, go into the comment section right now, man. And y'all go click on this right here and put it in your cart if you don't want to buy it right now. Put it in your cart. Y'all, look, it's imperative. It's imperative. If you really want to properly know how to tell time, go support this brother, man. You know what I mean? Go get that deal and understand it, because everything that he's talking about in there is in Owaspy. You dig? But it's broken down to where you can understand it, because the info in Owaspy is scattered. Cosmogony, Prophecy, Synopsis, 16 Cycles, Books of Judgment, Book of Osir Ray. It's all over. So you kind of got to know where to go to find all the info on the timetables of prophecy. You know what I mean? See, like, put it in book form, y'all, 15 years ago when you was running around here about to blow your drawers out, talking about the damn Mayan calendar is over. Huh? And how it lined up with the Yugas and all that. I remember all that. I've been around a minute. I've been watching niggas say the world was over and several times and try to line it up with the biblical feast and the Mayan calendar. And every time somebody failed. Every time. How about this, y'all? The false gods ain't taught us how to tell time. You don't know nothing about no arc cycles. You don't know nothing about none of it. This man over breaking down arc cycles. You the 25th arc cycle going back to the first. Each arc cycle is roughly 3,000 years. You don't even know where you at in time. And you got Nick Rose running around here talking about the third temple, the Antichrist. Look, y'all, all the biblical history ain't even 6,000 years. This man just took you back to over 72,000 years. Y'all go support the brother, man. Go get the book, Timetables of Prophecy by my brother, Selah Shalom. There it is right there. Cal posted it too. Go get that deal. Go get that deal and study it. That way you don't be out here looking crazy, man. Our people out here looking crazy today. You know what I mean? You really don't know when. Somebody asks you about a when. When nigga put the time on you and you over here scratching and clawing. Oh, you know, like the Canaanite guy chick, Naphtali. Oh yeah, that was 6,000 to 12,000 years ago. And you just gonna do us like that and give us a 6,000 year spread? You gonna give us a 6,000 year margin? What you mean between 6,000 and 12,000 years ago? What arc cycle are you talking about? What era was it? I'm saying, man, look, you out here looking goofy as all hell, man. Zip your lip up. If you don't know how to tell time, then tap in with the credit game, man. I'm just being real and authentic with you, letting you know. And I'm not talking about how to tell, oh, it's 3:15. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? It's 4:45. I'm not talking about how to tell time on your Rolex or on your little watch. I'm talking about how to tell time by looking at the heavens, looking at the histories of the earth. You understand? And being objective with this thing. It will blow your mind. You dig? So y'all go ahead and tap in with the brother, man. He got a lot of understanding when it come down to the timetables of prophecy. Also, Cosmine Cal. Y'all know, bro, Cosmine Kruger. Same thing, same deal. You dig? Look at his right. Look at it. Look. That's what year are we in? You see, you go ask a devout Hebrew, he gonna tell you 57, 85, or 86. Man, it's been 6,000 years. Adam was created in the year 3761 according to the biblical timeline. Most people that read the book can't even tell you what year we are in since creation biblically. Now look on the screen right here. What that screen say? We are in the year 72,177 equal to the year what? 2025. 72,000 and 72,000, y'all, equal 144,000. It's the mystery of your 144 you read about in the Bible. It's cosmological, y'all. Look, it has something to do with keeping time and telling time. Even the whole Noah with the flood of Ham, Shem, and Japheth, it's all cosmological. It was a time period when these deals went down. Huh? So, man, look, it's time to stop sounding goofy, man. A lot of y'all looking goofy out here, bro. Like, it's crazy. You can't even tell me what year it is. Since the creation of Adam, you dare not say, well, it's 2025 AD. You don't even look. You don't know how much they've been playing with these calendars. What's been taken away? What's going? You don't know nothing about it. What year is it since Adam was created? Those that go by the Hebrew count are going to tell you it's been 5,785 or 86 years. That's what they say. Hold on one second, y'all. Yeah, my bad, Joe. I had to handle some business. But look, it should be a problem if somebody asks you what year we are in since the creation of man, and you don't know. You don't know. And if you throw in 2025 out there, you really don't know, because the BC and AD was made up by a Catholic monk that were 500 that never met Jesus, that was born 500, 600, 700 years after Jesus. The AC, the AD and BC, I mean. And AD is terms made up by a Catholic monk. 500 years after who you calling Yahshua, Jesus was even walking this earth. You see? So, hey, man, look, salute the brothers and the sisters that's been putting in that pain, boy. You dig? Put that pain in, man. Put that pain in. You dig? Your work is never in vain. It's the end of the world, Malaki. All right. God didn't teach you how to use the sun and moon to tell time. And brothers somewhat got it, you know, when it come down to like looking at the moon cycles and all that, and knowing what day of the month it is, you know, somewhat, but that, you know what I mean, that really ain't enough. Like when it come down to the grand spectrum of what it is. You know what I mean? If you can't tell time, tap in with the game. It's just what it is, y'all. You'll learn how to, you got to tap in with us, though. You know what I mean? Don't think you be able to fancy yourself as our enemy and wow, I find it myself. Look, Wasby is a tall mountain to climb, man. You know what I mean? And the understanding is scattered all throughout there. If you don't know where to go, you just gonna be, hey, you either gonna have to have a battery in your back from the spirit world to where you like bumped it. I'm about to read this. I know a couple individuals when they first started reading this deal, they couldn't stop. I know a brother and a sister that was like, man, look, as soon as I started reading this, motherfuckers thought I was crazy. Nigga, I couldn't stop reading it. You know what I mean? Real spill. What else we got here? Money cow. That's what I'm saying, boy. You start, look at it. The cow, nigga, how many years you got till extinction? Until the earth ain't even suitable for mortals anymore. Man, that's crazy. Good night. Yeah, math is off, key. You already going up. Hey, so look, if y'all got some understanding on Selah Shalom University dealing with, Vortexian physics and the timetables of prophecy and all that, hey, y'all, hey, look, y'all go ahead and drop a Vortex in the chat. Hey, what I'm about to do is go ahead and pin the link to get his book. I'm about to pin that at the top of the chat. Y'all go support my brother, man. Stop playing. Get some understanding. You did. It's the algorithm of time. Everybody talk about the algorithms today. The algorithm this, the algorithm that. You know what I mean? Like, bro, we got the Faithists got the blueprint. CGG got the blueprint. And look, I'm working on something right now. It's about to, man, look. Everybody talking about their little movements and what they got going on and coming together. Man, listen to me. Listen to me. It's more than just getting land and growing some crops. You dig? It's a lot to it, and you realize this. It ain't just you building some type of just a community or whatever, like, or just building a homestead, should I say? Now, you supposed to be looking at it like, look, we about to go build a whole society, and all these different communities or societies together make up the kingdom of the Creator on earth. Yeah, but it's more than just buying land and growing crops. That's part of it. You dig? But you know what I mean? There's all types of things. What are your rites and ceremonies? Who taught them to you? Huh? Or what are your pledges and who are they to? There's a lot to come with it. You know what I mean? It's a lot to come with it. Like, and the rites and ceremonies are important because how else you gonna put everybody on one accord? Huh? Who's the all highest ideal? If a question get asked amongst the community or society, who do we pray to? Who do we worship? What's your answer? You got niggas over here that's Nations of Islam. You got cats over here that Sunni Muslims and Shiites. You got cats over here that's identified as black Jews. You got people over here that's Israelites. You know what I mean? Everybody do it their own way and got different concepts of who you calling who the Creator is. So if asked a question amongst your society, who's the all highest ideal? Like, who's the Creator? What do you say? You see, is this deal communal or is we talking about continuing it on capitalism? Shit gonna fall, man. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot to come with that. And what I'm saying is we got the blueprint for it. You know what I mean? I'm working on something right now that's about to it's gonna break the internet. You dig? And it's gonna show that even with all these little movements everybody got going on, y'all, at the most they doing is just walking around, marching, claiming they coming together, buying land and growing crops. Ain't nobody said nothing about no rites and ceremonies. Ain't nobody said, well, what are the pledges we take? Like where you think that come from when you be in school and they be like, our children got to stand up and pledge allegiance? Like, what society that you in that you ain't gonna have to pledge allegiance and put your pain in and say, I'm here for the better good of y'all. It's the same dealing with the Creator's kingdom. What are the pledges? Who do we make the pledges to? What are our rites and ceremonies? Huh? Who do we worship? Who do we pray to? You dig? What is this deal really about? Like, are we holding back the talents of everybody? Are we like it's a lot to come with it? You dig? And what I'm saying is a lot of these things ain't been thought about. A lot of these things ain't been thought about. A lot of people want to be the king, the queen, the fancy decorated elder, the general. None of that. And none of that flies in the Creator's kingdom. That's what I'm saying. You got people talking about getting land, but establishing a democracy. No, this ain't no democracy. This ain't a republic. You know what I mean? This ain't the common understanding of what communism is. This ain't capitalism. This ain't none of that. That's what I'm saying. So it ain't even been figured out, like the behavior that the people supposed to be mimicking on this plot of land that we get. Say we go get 40 acres. All right, well, what's the morality? What are we supposed to be doing outside of just growing crops and building houses? See, how do we ensure that the high-raised angels surround us and keep us guarded and not withdraw themselves from us? How do you build an altar of the Creator? You see, it's a lot that come with it, man. And that's why a lot of times when people, had a little initial push and all that, they get out there to get the land and get the crowd. And you notice it fizzled out like a dud on the 4th of July. It's a few people that got the, the homesteads and the lands and all that going. Salute, you dig? But they still don't even know that the inner workings of why they doing it. There's a reason why you're supposed to be living communal and have all things in common. You dig? It's a reason why. So we're going to get this, a little bit. But y'all see the title, Book of Judgment, Part 9, Faithists, Idolaters, and Infidels. Which one are you? You dig? When my brother Cosmo say, how you going to teach the children? Excellent question. Excellent question. Watch this. What's the focus? Who's the leader? 2 excellent questions. Huh? What does that right there? What keeps the people from being as evil as the government we already get? Hey, man, look. And see, these are the hardline questions that y'all need to be asking these brothers and sisters that starting these movements. They got, land and, crops and doing all that and saying they ready to come together. These are the hardline questions you need to be asking. Now, when you start getting a whole bunch of I don't knows and shoulder shrugs and scratching and clawing and swallowing, then you already know these niggas ain't thought past planting some crops. There's a lot that come with a society. You dig? And again, if you really want to know how it works, tap in with the Faithists. Tap in with the gang, man. Tap in with the gang. You dig? I know a lot of people don't want to hear it. You're still in denial a little taste. We're going to go to Esther real quick, y'all. Esther, the God's book of Esther, chapter 29. Real quick. You dig? And I was reading this yesterday and was like, there it is. There it is. We're going to go to Esther 29. We're going to start around verse 18. And then we're going to read on in, man. It's a lot to come with it. But what I'm saying is, we the ones that got the blueprint for it. And again, call me on it if you think I'm lying. That's all I'm saying. Y'all niggas ain't got the blueprint, man. Look. All right, well, go get whatever it is, documents, Lou Fuse documents you got printed up. Go to FedEx, Kinko's, and Xerox your copies or whatever. Get whatever it is you claim you got, and let's set up a dialogue in front of everybody. I'm talking about thousands of people. You dig? Let them ask their questions about this society or this kingdom that we claim we about to build. You dig? And let's see who got the answers. You can bring whatever. You can bring your Lou Fuse documents. You can bring your FedEx, Kinko, Xerox documents. You can bring your Bible, Quran. You can bring any literature you want. You can show up and just go off the cuff, off the top of your head if you want. Since we talking about establishing and building any type of kingdom on this earth right now, I'm saying that we got the blueprint for it. And I'm saying y'all don't got it. Huh? You don't got it. And so what I'm saying is to prove that we got it, we need to go ahead and have an open discussion panel in front of thousands of people, that know that a kingdom must be established in this earth. You dig? But they got questions. Who, what, where, when, why, and how. And if all you got is money to buy you some land and plant some crops, oh man, you ain't going to be in the conversation long. Not at all. Not at all. You know what I mean? Easy money, though. You know what I mean? Easy money. Chris say all of them will fail. Exactly. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is we got the blueprint. And what I'm saying is y'all don't. It's not braggadocious. I'm speaking a hardcore fact, and I'm confident behind it. I'm standing on it. You dig? I'm saying let's have a live panel discussion in front of thousands of people live. Y'all can live stream it if you want, do whatever. Have all your notable, speakers and influencers there. You dig? And the CGG will be in the building. You dig? And we're going to come with this Owaski right here. Y'all come with your Lou Fuse documents, your Xerox copies, your whatever you want to come with. You dig? And let's talk about, let's ask the hardline questions concerning building this kingdom on this earth. And let's see who got the answers. We've been trying to get the battle of the Holy Books going on. Nobody want to do it. I'm saying we got the blueprint and you don't. And if you think I'm lying, you dig? Well, call me on it then. I'll call you bluff. I'm saying y'all don't got it. None of y'all got it. None of you got it. I'm calling you bluff right now. None of y'all got no type of blueprint when it comes down to establishing the kingdom of the Creator on this earth. None of you got it. You dig? And if you had it, you feel me, you'd have been getting busy already. And again, these people that have established, little communities here and there and all that, but notice what's happening. Notice the atrocities. I know a brother who grew up in one of these so-called makeshift communities. I just talked to him a couple weeks ago. He in his 60s and all that. You know what I mean? His second language is English. Yeah. But when he got to talking about the evils that go on, that he's witnessed in these communities since he been little, I was like, whoa. I'm to my unspeakable horrors, like niggas laying with their granddaughters and having children. You know what I mean? Women getting buried in dumpsters and yeah. It's all type of crazy stuff going on. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is we got it and y'all don't. If you think it's a game, wolf, nigga. Like shit, we can look. Yeah, whoever know me know we can do a spiritual wager behind the whole thing, and whoever ain't got it got to stand down. Don't even open your mouth up about nothing. Just stand down. Come on over here with the gang. Grab you a shovel and put your pain in. Put your pain in. You can get your biggest influencers out there. I don't care who they are. Dr. Umar and all them. Go get them niggas. Go get whoever the hell you think, will be monumentous in establishing some type of community, society, or kingdom in this earth. You go get him, and I guarantee he ain't nowhere near it. You dig? And look, and if he's wrong and been proven to be insufficient in his answers and all that, he got to stand down, close his mouth. You dig? Come on over here to CGG, pick up a shovel and put your pain in. And learn what it is to establish the kingdom on this earth. I'm just saying, like, shit, if I'm playing wolf, press play. No way. I must have said something wrong. Niggas is mad. I was being real with you. This is Esther 29 and 18. Do not flatter yourselves that you shall suddenly reform all the world. Dang. You can at most only reach an arm's length. Hey, so we supposed to be, hey man, look, whatever we can do around us, hey man, let's get to it. Let's get to it, man. Look at this. 3 doctrines of men are now and ever shall be on the earth. They are first, the Faithists, who know the all person ever present. Second, the idol worshipers, who make the Creator into a man in heaven, and not present, but by proxy of certain laws. And third, infidels, who believe in nothing they cannot take up in their hand and wait. The Faithists beget Faithists. The idolaters beget idolaters. The infidels beget infidels. For these 3 conditions are only outward manifestations of the spirit within. Bad drop, boy. The infidel is nearly devoid of spirit. The infidel he ain't got damn lick of faith. Not just, the atheist, basically. The infidel is nearly devoid of spirit. The idolater has 1 grade more of spirit. So if you trip off this, if you went under the belief that the Creator is a man in heaven, you're only 1 grade above an infidel. Hold on, man. Hold on, because see, nah, Malaki, nah. Y'all gotta stop playing with me. Stop playing. Hold on. Let's go back and slow roll this. This is verse 19 now. Let's not play the game. You know what I mean? Let's not play the game. Let's go right here. Let's take our time and see, because the question is, which one are you? You a faithist, an idolater, or an infidel? Or an infidel? Which one is you? Dang. Somebody gonna spill their yak today, boy. I try to tell you. Yeah, I gotta leave the gang alone, man. Look at this. 3 doctrines have been, are now, and ever shall be on the earth. So there's only 3, y'all. They are, first, the Faithists, who know the all-person, ever-present. Second, the idol worshipers, who make the Creator into a man in heaven and not present, but by proxy of certain laws. Wow. And third, infidels, who believe in nothing they cannot take up in the hand and weigh. The faithists beget faithists, the idolaters beget idolaters, and the infidels beget infidels. For these 3 conditions are only outward manifestations, outward revealings of the spirit within. The infidel is nearly devoid of spirit, damn lick of it. The idolater, who believes that the Creator is a man in heaven sitting on a throne, the idolater has 1 grade more of spirit than who? Malaki, the infidel, who's devoid of it. Now, why do you think God logic or vocabulary? They steer clear of us. There ain't nothing but idolaters, you know what I mean, reveling over there. That's it. The idolater has 1 grade more spirit, but the faithist has spiritual ascendancy. If y'all don't leave me alone, man, listen, it ain't even a debate about what this is about. It's not. It's not. Look at this, verse 21. Since the highest, best good things done in the world come from the order of faithists. Be circumspect as the marriage. You heard that? Hey, be wise about your spouse. Who you choosing? So that your offspring incline more to spirituality than to earthliness. But such matters, spiritual marriage, such matters come under the higher law and can be understood only through the soul. Y'all hear this? Y'all hear this? Powerful. Verse 23. Also practice and prove that the laws of a community must die with the death of the rabbah. Rabbah is like the priests over the families or the community, right? Death for the rabbah, and that new laws must be made by the new rabbah. And in no case shall the law of precedent of things past apply to things present. For this is making slaves of the living to those who are dead. Yeah, it's progress dealing with Creator. You don't want to be a living slave to somebody that's dead. Dead. Look at this. It is making the wisdom of the dead greater than the wisdom of the Creator. Look at that. Look at this. 24 and 25. It said, when a rabbah retires from office, it shall be considered the same as a death, for it is the termination of his rule. Now look at this. There ain't no kings or queens, but it's a rabbah, and he ruling over the communities. Look, slow down. Look, verse 25. Nor shall a rabbah have any privileges or emoluments over and above any member of the community. You heard that? Even though the rabbah is the one that's quarterbacking the community, basically, he still don't get no type of privileges, rank, and right over anybody. Above any member of the community, nor any member, man or woman, above another. For there should be no partiality, even in favor of the learned and good, over and above the ignorant and the less good. For you are all brothers and sisters. That got to be understood before you start buying plots of land and dropping seeds in it, right? Not even the rabbah who's quarterbacking the team has any more privileges than the most ignorant person that's in the community. For you are all brothers and sisters, children of one Father, created by him in his own way and for his own glory. Y'all see that? Y'all see that? There's only 3 doctrines in the world, man. Faithists, idolaters, and infidels. Which one are you? If you a faithist, put it in the chat. If you an idolater, put it in the chat. If you an infidel, put it in the chat. But notice what an idolater is. An idolater, second is the idol worshipers who make the creator into a man in heaven. See that? You an idolater if you believe that the supreme being, the creator, the almighty, is a man in heaven right now sitting on a throne with Jesus at his right hand. That's the creator, looking like a man. That's the creator. If that's your belief, then you are an idolater, an idolater as we speak. Remember, ain't nobody seen the creator. Creator is not in the form and figure of any man, woman, angel, or animal. See that? The faithists who know the all person ever present. Second, the idol worshipers who make the creator into a man in heaven and not present by proxy of certain laws. And third, infidels who believe in nothing they cannot take up in hand and weigh. It is the faithists that have who? Spiritual ascendancy. So which one of you? Put that deal in that chat there. Which one of you? You a faithist, you an idolater, or you an infidel? Good night, boy. Let's get to this right here. We talking about building a kingdom. We talking about establishing societies and all that, man. It's a lot to come with that. Got a lot of people ain't even considered. It's not just buying land and planting seeds. It's part of it. It's part of it. You dig? But there's a lot more to it. If it's just land and seeds, and you know, what we doing a whole bunch of push-ups and jumping jacks, military training, and man, look, that deal gonna fail. It's gonna fail. All right, there's none of it without creator. There's none of it. There's no language, there's no land, there's no crops, no water. You don't got a timepiece in the heavens. You know what I mean? In essence, what people call today, what they call that today? What's the word that everybody use? When you got your own, when you got your own language, land, culture, military, economy, it's culture. And in essence, the only real true culture is the creator. That's what you got to give to people. You dig? And the creator is who we take our pledges and our oaths to and our vows to. You know what I mean? Look at this right here. Chapter 21, God's book of judgment. Oh, I speak. God decrees against infidelity. That's one of you. Dang, let me see where y'all at with it. Somebody might have said they was an idolater around here. Oh, an infidel. Let me see. You know, they always, I hate the urbane, man. Well, shout out to my brother Yeshaya Print Blake in the building. My brother from Birmingham, Alabama. My brother, he said that's what need to happen. Put it all on the line. Man, look, bro, you already know. I've always put it on the line. When you start seeing people not stepping up, pressing play, it's like, hold on, man, what's really going on? Let me see something real quick. Yeah, everybody on here like they faithists. That's right, man. That's right. That's an unwavering conviction in the creator, your maker, the almighty. It's unwavering. You know what I mean? What I got going on? Hold on, man. All right, let's get into this real quick. Where's the bronze at? You know, bronze yoga would always be up in there somewhere. What the homie Bron said, man. Let's get into this chapter 21, God's Book of Judgment, our speed, man. It's time to tap in when you want to learn to tell time. You want to learn how to build a society, you know what I mean, that's geared toward the Almighty and the development of the talents and all that, dealing with the children. And man, you got to come tap in with the game. We got the blueprint. I'm working on the presentation now that's going to break the, man, bro, when that deal come out, and I'm challenging everybody who claim that's what they want to do. Let's go ahead and get it in front of everybody. Let's go ahead and put it in front of everybody. Or if niggas don't want to challenge, they're just like, you know what? Hey, we interested in seeing the presentation. You know what I mean? You know, we had CGG, y'all come out here, you know, for a week or whatever, and, you know, do a presentation in our church for us or our temple, synagogue, whatever. Yeah, we on our way. We on our way. You know what I mean? So maybe you don't want to debate it. Maybe you're not in denial. You just want to see what we talking about. We do that too. You know what I mean? Shit, me, Daryl, Cal, and C-Lot together got well over 500 presentations. Easy. That's all we do. And y'all be hearing from us, we be cooking. You know what I mean? So if niggas want to debate it, we can do it. Or if you just want to see what we talking about, you know what I mean? We can do that too. Right? And I know a lot of y'all probably want to see what we talking about so y'all can go, you know, take a little something and add to your repertoire. But look, you can tell the people you roll with whatever you want. You and I know what's going on. You did. We know where you get that from. Yeah. Look at this right here. Book of Judgment, chapter 21. God decrees against infidelity. God said, hear the words of your God, O man. In ancient times, I came as a father to a child, dictating a man. Now that you have attained to comprehensive judgment, Creator has inspired you to liberty, freedom, and to what? Think for yourself and consider what is best for you. Stop right there. What's wrong with that? What I've realized is this, though, y'all. We want to be told what to do. You want to be told what to do. You want to dictate over you. It's almost like a woman that's just getting the wig whooped off her head. Love the nigga that's whooping the wig off her head. You know what I mean? Like, I noticed that in spirit. We've been whooped so long by these false gods. When somebody like us pop up and say, look, you got liberty to do what you want. Just say, whatever blowback happens is on you. You got liberty to do whatever you want. Think for yourself. Consider what's best for you. Save yourself. Judge yourself. Like, we pop up saying that, it almost sounds like blasphemy, right? It's the same thing with a woman that's mentally bruised and battered, that's getting the wig whooped off her head and claiming she loves this nigga. What the hell wrong with you? What's wrong with hers? What's wrong with mankind as a whole? We even got the wig whooped off our head by these false gods so long. You understand? It's called cognitive dissonance, man. You start feeling sorry for the nigga. You know what I mean? Or a lot of y'all got that fear put up in you, dealing with the deity or dealing with the God. You know what I mean? But Creator say, look, God is saying the Creator has inspired you to freedom, liberty, which means you've been bound. You've been bound. And to think for yourself. You see, and to consider what is best for you. What's wrong with that? Why does that sound evil to most folks? Why does that sound evil to you? It shouldn't sound evil a little bit. It's like, oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, put your big boy boots on, boy. And your God does not come now as a dictator, but what? As your elder brother with ample experience. I'm gonna catch this game I'm throwing at you. Look at this. And I say to you, like your professors in the college to their graduated classes, behold, you are free. You're no longer bound by these false gods and these religions or these camp leaders or your mores or your pastors. And a lot of y'all still in bondage and you're fearful. Behold, you are free. Go your way. And no longer hope to hold your God accountable for your behavior. No, your behavior, what you do is all on you. The consequences, or the grace that comes behind it. It's all based off the decisions you make. You dig? So if you prepare to deal with the blowback, hey, ain't nothing I can tell you. You already made the right decision, no matter what it is. You prepare to deal with the blowback is coming behind that. You dig? So when the blowback hit, we don't want to hear no complaining. None. You jumped out there and you pressed play on that. Right? Handle that. Now we just saying back at the handle yours. What is you doing? Huh? For with your freedom, you also attain to responsibility. You got liberty, you got freedom, but look, every move you make is on you. You're not a slave no more, right? So whatever move you make ain't on master. It's on you. Do not think that because I emancipate you from the God, lords and saviors of the ancients, and from the Bibles and sacred books of the ancients, and from the ancient commandments and injunctions, that as a consequence, you are not bound in loyalty and faithfulness, fidelity to your creator. He said, man, look, don't be thinking this liberty mean you can just be start laying with greased up midgets and, just be a diabolical Satanist. No, that's not the point. That's not the point. You dig? And some people do that. I'm free, nigga. I'm about to go crash out. No, sit down somewhere before you hurt yourself. Do not think that because I emancipate you from the God, lords, and saviors of the ancients, and from the Bibles and sacred books of the ancients, and from the ancient commandments and injunctions, that as a consequence, you are not bound in fidelity to your creator. You are bound what? More now than before. Man, you tell me nothing about you fell off and lost a life, bro. I'm bound more to the creator now than I was back then when you couldn't mess with me. What is you talking about? You are bound more now than before, for you shall not from this time forward throw the responsibility of your conduct, your behavior onto this man or that man, or onto any God, Lord, Savior, Holy Book, Bible, priest, or church decree. Hell, or even though some people blame the devil. It was the devil. No, we're not falling for none of that. You jumped out there. You the one that pressed play on it. Handle it. Handle it. You see that? Dang. Look at this. Look at this. This stuff hurt, boy. I'm talking about it scared them deities. They be, man, look, you be having their devotees foaming at the mouth so that your fidelity to your creator and to your fellow man, your loyalty, your faithfulness to your maker and to the brother or sister right next to you, or even if it's a complete stranger. See, we talking about building the kingdom, establishing societies and all that. We got to talk about morality, conduct, behavior, toward man and the spirit world. So that the fidelity to your creator and to your fellow man in righteousness, love, and good works shall become the most sacred study of your life. What's the most sacred study? It's pouring over the Torah portions every Shabbat. It's pouring over the Torah portions. Yeah, we do the same Torah portions as the small hats. I know. And I've watched you Negroes do it. I've watched the same the small hats over here on YouTube. All types of choking on their kits and Rufino and then you got the bros over here doing the exact same Torah portion. You know what I mean? The exact same Torah portion. The exact same week. I'm talking about the exact one. Y'all following the same curriculum. No, the most sacred study of your life ain't the same Torah portions as Jaime and them. The most sacred study of your life is your fidelity to your creator and to your fellow man in righteousness, love, and good works. That's the most sacred study of your life. It's not the Torah portions that y'all copying off the small hats every week. And y'all doing the exact same lesson. Look, I know, and I got receipts. Matter of fact, all we got to do is wait for a couple more days. I'll show you. I'll show you a live of Nick Rose doing a Torah portion, the exact Torah portion Jaime and them is doing. Hashem. Hashem. Come on, man. The most sacred study of your life is about your creator and your fellow man. That's what that's about. It ain't about whatever it is that they got you doing, chasing your tail today. No, that's not it. Look at this. And your example from day to day shall be a perpetual register of your accountability. Oh, so your conduct is being recorded. Your conduct is being recorded. Your fidelity to your creator and your fellow man is being recorded day to day. And it's a perpetual register. Man, we ain't got away with nothing, man. Truly, you should be a living sermon before men and before the creator. Look at this. Look at this. And where your behavior detracts from the grades of your fellow men, you should be bound in the behavior of those who copy after you. And for the shortness you bring them into, you should suffer for them in time to come. Yeah, so if you're doing something, if you, especially if you're some type of influencer, but if your behavior, what you're doing is influencing others to do the same thing, but it's behavior that's not conducive to the creator's program. You taking away from your own grade and nerves. You shall suffer for them in time to come. See, so in this community, you always got to be on guard that you understand that you live into your highest light, because those that look up to you will start doing what you're doing. And if what you're doing is not conducive to the creator's program, guess what? We hustling backwards at this point. We hustling backwards. Look at this. Beware, O man, for this rule applies to all the generations of men. What rule? That by sudden freedom, emancipation from an old condition, man runs into another extreme, from which spring libertinism and licentiousness. Licentiousness is some extreme wickedness going on, man. It's just, look, there's no discretion. It's just, they can do whatever the hell you want to do. It don't matter. Under the guise of being free. See, so when there's an emancipation or there's a freedom from an old condition that's no longer serving you, you either finna go crash out, or guess what? You gonna get with the creator and enroll in his program. You dig? And get to serving the creator by doing righteous works done unto others with all your wisdom and strength. It's one or the other. You're going to boldly proclaim that you're no longer a slave bound to any false god, you dig? And that you tripping flat out. Like, nah, nigga, I'm tripping on any one of y'all I'm tripping. So beware, man. Just because you free don't mean you turn into a scumbag. You know what I mean? A renegade. You're more bound to the creator now than before, because you know the system in order. You see? For which reason you shall proclaim before the multitude the responsibilities of the new condition, rather than try to win their applause by proclaiming their emancipation from the old. So explain the responsibilities that come with the freedom. Let brothers know, look, whatever you do is on you, boy. Let sisters know you decide to get out there and, and engage in a hot girl summer. Whatever come behind that is on you. Whatever come behind that is on you. You know what I mean? Live to your highest light. No matter what situation you in, you striving to do what's right and real and solid. You know what I mean? So it really keeps you constantly examining yourself. You dig? And so you don't be out here just operating in complete darkness under the disguise of freedom. And you out here doing all types of, things that are unseemly. Yeah. Now look at this word. Because I have opened the heavens, the spirits of the dead return to you and commune in your household. Do not flatter yourself that the whole of the Father's kingdoms are revealed to you, and that the angels who converse with you can make plain the dominions of the higher heavens. Look at this. Some of y'all know I'll be sending out those reality of the spirit world. I send them out during the week, multiple times a week. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people claiming they into spiritual communication and they didn't talk to their spirit guide, and you in that era. You know what I mean? And, all right, well, how do you know that they ain't no low grade wandering spirit versus a high grade spirit? How do you know that? And what questions are you asking? You just like everything is just haphazard with the spirit world. You know what I mean? From the mortal perspective. But us that know better know that the spirit world is more reality than this tangible physical world that you're in right now. It's more organized and in order than what you got going on right now. It's not haphazard. It ain't a mistake. Many of these shall return to you saying there is no hell, no Satan, no God, no Lord, or anything in this world to make you afraid. For in truth, the hell they look for, they did not find. Nor did they find a God, Lord, or Savior, such as they had hoped or expected to find. And for this reason, such angels are jubilant for the time being. So he's like, you can't even believe everything a spirit or an ancestor or angel tell you. There got to be some type of rubric. There got to be some type of measuring sticker to identify if this spirit is malevolent, meaning hostile toward me, or benevolent for me. How do you know? How do you know? You just said you got a weird feeling in your solar plexus. You start seeing all types of crazy visions and all that and saying, well, I just talked to my spirit guide. I want to talk to an Orion chief. And how you know? How you know he ain't pump faking? Look at this. Look at this. This is easy money, man. This is what we do. Somebody better tell these young boys that we do this. Dang. Easy money, man. Easy money. Shout out to my brother Prince Judah Vaughn in the building. Bishop XFG Keezy. Oh, Daisy. Look at this. Look at this. Nevertheless, a time will come to them also when they shall tire of dwelling on the earth. Who we talking about? We talking about these spirits of the dead that's pump faking like they high-raised angels. And here you go, talking about you can talk to your spirit guide. The time will come to them also when they shall tire of dwelling on the earth in the places of their mortal kin. They shall seek resurrection in the more exalted places. Really? Where wisdom and purity dwell. Then indeed they shall begin to comprehend the ways of the kingdoms of the Almighty. So even the wandering spirits eventually gonna get tired. And look, is this the best it get? I hung out here when I was in my flesh living. You see, your rise or your fall is on you. And as long as it take it, Creator doing this thing, it ain't like you can stall and then stop him from doing what he's doing. Look, your rise or fall is on you. If it take your ass 10 million years to understand what it is, then guess what? So be it. That's on you. And the system and the order ain't even hard, man. It's the Creator and none else. And love your neighbors yourself. With all your might, do righteous works for someone else. It's simple. Remove all the idols out of your heart. Purify your flesh. Purify your thoughts. Simple. It ain't hard. It ain't a calculus, chemical equation, ain't none of that. It's just, look, Creator is saying, be solid, be real, be how I made you. Show some sincere and genuine love. Stop being a nitwit all your life. Yeah. Even the spirits that cross over, that are wandering spirits who have not even gotten to the academies and the universities of the Creator. Eventually, they're going to get tired of bumping their head on the wall too and say, what I need to do to get up out of here? This is best as it get. This is best as it get. I was hanging in the whorehouses when I was living. This the best it get? Yeah. Look at this. And they will cry out in pain, pleading for pity, compassion, and help. And after that, when they come to you, they will also proclaim, even as your God now does, that the commandments must be fulfilled. Yeah. No one's beyond redemption. You dig? But guess what? You can be bullheaded all you want. You ain't gonna do nothing but get tired of bumping your head and eventually say, well, what do I need to do to get down, man? Here it is right here. See, what are your rites and ceremonies? How do you raise up a dark spirit? How do you raise them up out of their darkness so that even the dark spirits or ancestors or angels start seeking creator? What's your system in order? Lick your fingers and flip to whatever page in your document and show us. You know what I mean? Easy, easy money. Easy, easy money. Good night, boy. All right, look at this right here, verse 18. Check it out, man. All right, you gotta look. You gotta get to the point to where it's like either this resonates with you or it don't. You heard something that just was evil and blood curdling, or you like, man, I ain't never heard nothing like that before, bro. That's crazy, man. That's deep. You know what I mean? All I do is get into it and see what it is. And let the information, every tub got to sit on its own bottom. No matter what book you lick your fingers and flip through, it got to sit on its own bottom or stand on its own merit. It got to. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. Look at this. So the commandments must be fulfilled. What are those? To love the Creator above all else, and your neighbor as yourself. So we've heard that so many times coming up. Love your neighbor as yourself. Love your neighbor. What does that mean? What does that mean? Meaning, whoever you look at, whoever's around you, it don't matter if it's a complete stranger, but specifically your neighbor. You're supposed to be looking at your neighbor. That's y'all that got these circles and, cliques and all that. Everybody in there, you're supposed to be looking at them as if they are you. And if you got your best interest in mind, then guess what? You got their best interest in mind, because remember, they are you, you are them. Yeah, that's how you love your neighbor as yourself. You're supposed to love your neighbor as if they are you. Just like you wouldn't put yourself in a situation purposely to be on something that's, against what the Creator says. You shouldn't do that to nobody else either. To love your neighbor as yourself means you love your neighbor as if they are you. You see you when you look at the next person. You see you when you look at your right-hand man. You see you when you look at this sister right here. You dig? And that way, because we work for each other. My job is to help you with your resurrection. Right? So I'm supposed to look at you as if you were me. To love the Creator above all else and your neighbor as yourself. Sell all you have and give to the poor. Sell all you have and give to the poor. Return good for evil. Man, look at this. Do good to others with all your wisdom and strength. These are commandments, Malaki. Abnegate self in all respects. Abnegate means to deny self. Deny self. This is a selfless thing. Salvation is selfless, not selfish. Remember, the Creator ain't selfish. If the Creator was like any of us, it'd be a problem. The Creator is selfless, gave all away so you could be breathing. Constant work, constant service. Give you the desires of your heart. You dig? The Creator abnegates. Creator is not selfish at all. Right? Part of the commandments for us is that we're supposed to become selfless. Abnegate self in all respects. Make yourself a servant to your Creator. Owning or possessing nothing under the sun. Dang, dog. Dang, dog. And look into your soul to judge yourself constantly, to discover where and how you shall do the most good. You should be asking Creator every day, like, send you somebody that you can do the most good for. You know what I mean? Like, use me to help alleviate some of the problems that go on, you know what I mean, around me and in my city or whatever. Like, use me to shine your light into someone's soul to, inspire them to be better. Look at this. Complaining not against Creator for anything that happens. Making your neighbor rejoice in you. See? Making yourself affiliative. So that means, some people be like, well, I'm not a people person. I don't really, But this is about coming together, being affiliative, not secluded. That's how the angels in the heavens roll. They together, they a union. They mob deep. Millions of these niggas show up deep in a ship wider than the earth. About to put that pain in. What's good? Without self-righteousness above anyone. So we can stop that. Being a producer of something good. And learn to rejoice in your own life. And learn to rejoice in your own life with singing, dancing, and a jovial heart. Paying due respect to rites and ceremonies so that all things may be orderly before the Creator. The rites and ceremonies is the accompany, the rites of Faithism. And all that's important when it comes down to establishing your society too. The rites and ceremonies. How else you about to get the community on one accord? Focus on Creator. There got to be rites and ceremonies. And the rites and ceremonies are actually taught by angels. Yep, to the priests. Angels to mortals. So the rites and ceremonies is something that's very, very important. Without rites and ceremonies, there's no way to even put the people on one accord. So if you're building the kingdom, one of the questions I got for you is, what are your rites and ceremonies? What are your pledges and who are they to? Yeah, crickets. Nigga ain't even thought that far. Like, dang. And notice what it's talking. It talk about rejoicing in your life, singing, dancing, jovial. And y'all wonder why the gang always, smiling, dancing, turning the spirit up when we come through. I know me, I'm always, yeah. We gonna dance, we gonna sing, we gonna rap, we gonna feel good. So know what it say right here. It says, paying due respect to rites and ceremonies so that all things may be orderly before the Creator. Ooh-wee. Remember the words of your God, oh man, when angels or men advise you against these commandments. What commandments, Malaki? Everything we just was reading, man. Okay? There's nothing evil about what we just read. There's nothing about killing children or cutting off goat heads or drawing blood borders or altar burnt offerings. It ain't none of that. All of it really is just being real. If you solid, you would have been doing this already. You see that? Know what it say? It says, when angels or men advise you against these commandments, they have little to offer you that will promote the harmony of the state, harmony of the community, harmony of the kingdom. So, all right, remember I said we got the blueprint. If it's an angel, ancestor, spirit, or a mortal come to you and tell you that this right here is no good, they got little to offer you. They have little to offer you that will promote the harmony, the unity. You know what I mean? The unity of the state. Shout out to them brothers. There's a group of brothers going around. Matter of fact, they call their movement the unity movement. I met some of them brothers a couple of weeks ago. Shout out to them. You know what I mean? To achieve real unity, you dig? We have to be focused and centered on Creator. You dig? You ain't growing no crops without Creator. There is no land, there's no water, there's no crops, there's no food, no earth, no elements, no sun, moon. There's nothing without Creator. That's the culture we give them. You dig? Creator is who we take our pledges to. The Creator is the rites and ceremonies that we do is surrounded around Creator. You see? That's what that's about. So if you come anything opposite of this, then you don't have anything to offer the community that will promote the harmony, unity. See, look at this. Consider therefore that whatever promotes the greatest harmony and wisdom within the state, has also been discovered and is in practice in the higher heavens. Good night, boy. So whatever we find ourselves doing, that promotes harmony and unity and all that, and it's working. Understand it? It's already in practice in the higher heavens, meaning it's the higher heavens that inspires you to do that, not the other way around. The higher heavens inspires you to come up with this system and order, you know what I mean, that promotes harmony amongst the community. Huh? So whatever promotes the greatest harmony and wisdom within the state, within the family, within the community, within the kingdom, has also been discovered and is in practice in the higher heavens. Good night, boy. That's where it comes from. And that's why it's imperative to understand the rites and ceremonies, the pledges, who the creator is, you know what I mean? How we ain't dealing with the lords, gods, and saviors, none of that. It's imperative, or guess what? What you call your kingdom is going to fall. It's going to fall. You know what I mean? That's powerful. When I read that, I said, dang, so whatever is already popping and it's working, man, they already doing that in the higher heavens. Already been discovered. This ain't nothing new. It's just the higher heavens or the higher raised angels through the creator is inspiring you to do that. You know what I mean? Look at this. And given the case proven to you, that a state divided against itself cannot stand, even so are the heavens above not divided, but as a unit. Judge then, O man, when one spirit comes to you preaching one thing, and another spirit comes to you preaching another thing. Their contradicting words are proof that they have not yet entered the harmonious heavens of your God. Look at that. That brother said he had a vision or a dream. The ancestor told him this. That brother said he had a vision or a dream, but the ancestors told him that. And it's polar opposites. It's different. Well, whoever is speaking to you, whatever spirits that are speaking to you that you entertaining, that's the proof you need that they have not yet entered the harmonious heavens of your God. Why? Because they're speaking a different understanding. Their understanding ain't even the same thing. Right? But they part of the same community, right? Like these spirits are inspiring men to come together and start building kingdoms and communities and getting land and all that. It's been going on for a minute, man. It's a lot of people out there that's doing that, right? But all right, well, what happens when the message, the inspiration that's coming through is different than the next man, woman, or child? And that means whatever is inspiring you has not yet entered the harmonious heavens of your God. Facts. Look at this. And it is because of the disharmony of your own soul that you are open to these conflicting messages. Only reason you entertain it because you got disharmony within your own soul. The message is out. The message is different. What are you entertaining that for? They ain't told you nothing about the kingdom, what you need to do to get there, what you need to do to establish it and build it. How you supposed to be abnegate self? Look at this. And it is because of the disharmony of your own soul that you are open to these conflicting messages. This is infidelity. This is infidelity against the all-person Jehovah. And such conflicting spirits deny the person and the unity of the Almighty. Shout out to the unity movement. And brothers, they outside. I give them that. They outside. You did, but if we talking unity, we talking about one accord, talking about coming together and all that. The goal is creator. The highest ideal is creator. You see what I'm saying? So eventually, dealing with any type of movement, and again, a movement, either what you're doing is a movement or it's a way of life. All movements start and stop. You know what I mean? But creator is all motion. Ain't no stopping. So you got to figure out, is this a way of life, under creator, or is this just a movement? All movements start and stop. Every last one of them. You dig? So to really get the unity to where it is, we got to have a conversation about who our maker is. And that's the conversation most are dodging that conversation with us. There ain't no unity without creator. You won't get it. You won't get it. You get a little motion real quick. It won't last though. It won't last. You know what I mean? Because you got to deal with the spirit of man. You dig? And then who are you letting into the community? Is anybody? Niggas ain't got to come in and take no pledges or nothing. Just put an ad in the newspaper. Everybody come on. See? And such conflicting spirits deny the person and the unity of the Almighty. Do not let your emancipation from the bondage of the doctrines of the ancients lead you into infidelity against the Creator. Now, most of us said we Faithists. It's 3 doctrines: Faithists, idolatry, and infidelity. Faithists believe in the Creator, unwavering, who's not informing figure of a man, but is ever present, meaning every word we speak. The idolater believes the Creator is a man in heaven. Notice that's an idolater, a man in heaven. All right, and the infidel don't believe nothing they can't pick up and weigh and measure. Infidel is nearly devoid of spirit. The idolater, who believes the Creator is a man in heaven, you dig, is 1 grade above the infidel in spirit. But the Faithists have spiritual ascendancy. We are out of here, boy. We like this. You mean? No, ain't no lollygagging going on. We like this. Got that vertical on you, boy. If you get some understanding, y'all drop a 12,000 in the chat, man. Number love and light, baby. Y'all drop a 12,000 in the chat if y'all get some understanding. I see y'all in the chat. My sister Essence is in the building. What's up, sis? What it do? What's the skinny? What's the skinny? You know what I mean? Let's get some tones going real quick. I'll take y'all a little break for a second. I got one. A little water or something real quick. Take this water, be a little taste. I'll be right back. Hey, y'all drop a 12,000 chat if y'all get some understanding. It's your brother Malaki Macabee, Megaton, the light bomb. Hey, you a faithless, idolater, or infidel? Type it in the chat. Which one? Which one are you? Easy money. You know what I mean? Let's get it. Mic check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Dang, Faithists, idolaters, or infidels, huh? Dang. Talk about the kingdom. Now, this next chapter is about the Father's kingdom on earth. So, that shouldn't be anybody mad about nothing. There's nothing to be mad about. Nothing. And remember, I didn't write the book. I just read what is in it. Man, when I tell you, man, there's some light in this deal that's really, really a problem. You know what I mean? To the establishment. Okay, yeah, faith is on this side, baby. Shout out to Global Purpose, my sister. Look at the rifle. Faith is 99. I used to, you over 99, huh? I already know. Sister Rain in the building, Faith is, that's right. Boy, Elijah J said, I'm reading this and this is very interesting, but where did this come from? Hey, man, what does any spiritual text come from, man? Does any spiritual text come from? Matter of fact, not only where, how does a spiritual text get compiled and put into the physical form? You know what I mean? So yeah, get into it, man. It's pretty. It's a great read. Very, very great read. I ain't gonna lie to you. And that's somebody that has read. I'm like on my 4th time reading this deal, and I still get blown. Like, dang. But you know what, Elijah? You know what's crazy? We spent our whole life going to school and never asked who produced or even authorized or published any of our textbooks. Nobody ever asks it. Nobody ever goes to the title page of the textbook. They tell you, Miss Smith say, open up the page 5. You're going to learn your times tables today. And you got your little worksheets and all that, you know what I mean? But nobody ever asks. It's just only when it comes to this. Like, we don't even ask how our Bible got compiled. You dig? We don't ask none of that. We don't look. Most of us don't even know that even the Gospels was written way after the birth of who we call Jesus, after the fall of Jerusalem, in Greek from Rome. You dig? And for the first 100 years after they was written, they were anonymous documents. They were look. So in other words, the Gospels originally were floating through the ancient world as anonymous documents. There was no Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. We never asked these things though. So what I'm saying is it's a good question. And there's an answer to the question, no doubt. All you gotta do is really get into it, study it, and you'll see what's going on, right? But what I figured out or what I've seen since we start bringing this light out is that most people figure out how or WASP came into the physical form, and they use that as a reason not to read. So what I'm saying is read it first. Like get into it. It's gonna blow your mind. You're like, dang, you dig? But yeah, there's an answer to how it came through. You know what I mean? It's an answer to how Bible came through, or how the Kemetic priests scribed the hieroglyphs on the stones and all that in perfect linear form and colors and hell was they doing all that? Every spiritual text, you know what I mean, has to get every spiritual text that's in the physical form, whoever compiled it, wrote it, or it came through had to have a spiritual experience. Ezra drank some molly water, you dig, in 2nd Ezra, and he spoke by day, and his scribes got to writing swiftly by night for 40 days, 40 nights until the what you call the Torah was refurbished. Nobody ever questions that though. We go to school from kindergarten all the way up to being in the 12th grade, even when you get to college. You go get textbooks from the school library, right? Why you don't ever ask who's the author, who compiled it, who published it? We never asked that. You dig? You know why? Because it really ain't even about whoever published it or whatever. It's more about the information that's in it that I need to keep moving forward. And what I'm gonna say, that's in 2nd Ezra 14, the Apocrypha, Elijah. 2nd Ezra 14, verses 21 down to 28. You'll run right into it. You know what I mean? But that's how you got your Bible after the Torah was burned. We don't even got Moses' writings. We don't even have them. You know what I mean? But the Torah today is attributed to Moses. Moses didn't write nothing that you read. You see? So what I'm saying is like getting to the information. There's, we got the whole breakdown on how Ayahuasca came in. As a matter of fact, it's off the chain how it happened, if you ask me. Dang, that's hard how that happened. You know what I mean? And the dude that he came through, he don't even take credit for it. He's like, man, I did not write this. There's no way. Ask any of my friends, they'll laugh at you. Nigga ain't right there. This nigga's a dentist. You don't know nothing about no anthropology and cosmogony and, man, look. You see what I'm saying? So let's get into this though right here, y'all. This is the Father's kingdom on earth. Let's talk about it. Because that's the goal. It's the kingdom that's coming to earth. All right, what is it about? Do we build it? Or are we just waiting for something to drop out the sky? All right, what's really going on here? No way. Let's get into it. Chapter 22, the Father's kingdom on earth. Oh, I speak. God said, I have heard your prayer, O man. Your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. That's the prayer, right? That's right, boy. I'll tell you. Nah, not Mali water, brother. Molly water. My brother say all spiritual texts. What he say? All spiritual texts claim to come from angels or spirits of God. Exactly. Shout out to my sister Rain. She said it's been a great journey traveling with you, brothers and sisters. No doubt, sis. You already know. My brother Cosmon Kruger Ezra did drink that Molly water and talk for 40 straight days. Yeah, nobody questions Bible. All right. Let's just get into this. And again, y'all, we the ones with the blueprint, man. Look, it's right here. Like I'm saying, like, and it's more to it too. Like I'm saying, we got our presentations on the way that's gonna like blow the lid off something. And again, I'm on the side with it. We can either do some presentations with it, or we can debate it in front of everybody. We gonna see where the answer's at. You understand? We gonna see where the answer's at, and we gonna see who's winging their answers. You dig? We gonna say, no, bro, that's practical right there. That's how you do that. So watch this right here. It's right here. God said, I have heard your prayer, O man. The kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Right? Have you considered your words? Do y'all really know what that even means? You know what that means? Have you considered your words, and are you prepared for it? Have you fulfilled the commandments? And do you love your neighbor like yourself? And have you done to the least among you what you desire your Creator to do to you? Huh? Boy, man, look, we about to see real quick who really about this pain and who not. How about that? Hold on. Hold on. Yeah, I just got amped. Hold on. Have you considered your words, and are you prepared for it? Have you fulfilled the commandments, and do you love your neighbor like yourself? And have you done to the least among you what you desire your Creator to do to you? And you really ready for this kingdom you claim you about to build? Now behold, Creator has sent me, your God, to answer your prayer. I demand of you that you have no favorite doctrine above your neighbor. Y'all probably speaking the same thing in this kingdom. Look at this. And that you are the servant to know God, Lord, Savior, or church that is unacceptable to any man in the world. But that you serve Jehovah, Creator, with all your wisdom and strength. How, Malaki? This is how you serve Creator, y'all. We help you out. By doing good to your fellow men with all your might. Your fidelity to your Creator and to your fellow man and righteousness, love, and good works is the most sacred study of your life. How do you serve the Creator? By doing good to your fellow man with all your might. See, it's an open book test. I'm going to ask it again. Type the answer in the chat. How do you serve the almighty, ever-present Creator? How? Put the answer in the chat, y'all. Just me. I see you. I see you, brother. I see you, right? Look at this. Verse 7. Service unto others, man. It's simple. It ain't even. We make it hard. It ain't even hard, man. We talking about the kingdom, right? Talking about the kingdom, right? Look at this. It says that because you are strong or wise or rich, you understand that you shall use these excellencies for raising up those who do not have them. Believe in that Creator so provided you to that end. So you got strength, or you got a plethora of wisdom, or you got a gang of money. You rich. Understand that you shall use these excellencies, these virtues, these desirable traits, these righteous talents and attainments. You shall use these excellencies for raising up those who do not have them. So you got a plethora of strength, wisdom, or riches. You're supposed to be using these things to help raise others up, because everybody don't got your strength, your wisdom, or your riches. We talking about building the kingdom, right? We talking about a society. We talking about, you know what I mean, the kingdom of the Creator on this earth. Whether we saying Jehovah or Yahuwah or whatever, it's the ideal. It's the concepts. What are we talking about here? Right? Like whatever resources you have, you're supposed to be using them to raise others up. You know what I mean? And pushing the people toward Creator's kingdom. For raising up those who do not have them, believing that Jehovah so provided you to that end. You got your strength, wisdom, and riches because it was the Creator who allowed you to attain this. See? Look at this. What you think is a game? What you think we playing? Look at it. Look at this. It says, consider, old man, you have a kingdom or Jehovah's government already. Would you have two kingdoms? Hold on. Let's look at this reference number over here. Look what this says. That is Jehovah's government and the government of man. Note that God is not advocating the overthrowing of man's government, but rather the opposite, by being models of virtue. See that? Practicing goodness of heart and other excellencies for the sake of the Creator. It is around these that the Father's kingdom, the higher government, is formed. I see that. Around what, Malaki? By being models of virtue, practicing goodness of heart, and other excellencies for the sake of the Creator. It is around these that the Father's kingdom, the higher government, is formed. It is toward these that all people move sooner or later. It's a matter of time. Now, you hear me say it all the time. Look, all y'all gonna be over here eventually. It ain't an if, it's only a when. It's a matter of time. It is toward these that all people move sooner or later. Governments of man that allow for or even encourage the practice of these virtues are on the right track. We talking about building the kingdom, right? We talking about coming together, building the kingdom. It ain't gonna happen without Creator. Creator got to be understood up top first. before you even allowed into the, like, you got to pledge, you got to take pledges to the Creator before you even allowed to be there. What you mean? Huh? Consider, oh man, you have a kingdom already. You have Jehovah's kingdom already. Would you have two kingdoms? Behold, the kingdom of man has its power and armies and ships of war. The kingdoms with an S of your father do not have these. So you got brothers wanting to come together and establish a military branch and an executive branch of the government, and you know, of the land. And we talking about the Creator's kingdom, we talking about man's kingdom. Man's kingdom, kingdom of man, has its power in armies and ships of war. The kingdoms of your father do not have these. But love, wisdom, righteousness, and peace. See, you about to go buy some land, plant some crops, and put some security around it. Hold on. I demand of you. Look at this. We talking about the Creator's kingdom now. Like, you did. You want to get out the way. Where does your power lie? Is it in weapons of death? Weapons of mass destruction, WMDs? Look what's said. Look what Creator is saying through one of his gods, true God. I demand of you that you shall give up your army and navy. No more Navy SEALs. No more Chris Kyle, American sniper. I demand of you that you shall give up your army and navy. Are you prepared to say, to whom strikes me on one cheek, I turn the other to be struck off? So, oh my God. 99% of the world, hell no. Nigga hit me as a rap. But again, we talking about man's kingdom or we talking about the Creator's kingdom? Tell me. Who's really prepared to enter? And this is on earth. This ain't even the kingdoms in the heavens. This is the kingdom on earth that everybody claim they trying to build and get into. Dang, look at this. Is your faith still more in weapons of death than in the voice of everlasting life? Do you esteem your army and navy to be dependent on more than Creator? Are you willing to sacrifice your time, money, and self-interest for the sake of Jehovah's kingdom? We're going to see. We're going to see. Use your judgment, old man. And the reason I say we're going to see is because what's about to happen, especially these next 4 or 5 years, we're going into the Great Reset, the next Great Depression, but it's the Great Depression 2.0. We're heading right into that. Everybody knows it. It's a Great Reset coming. So these next 4 or 5 years is about to show who really down, because by the time the dust settles, you're either going to be a part of the Great Reset, riding a damn bicycle or running on a hamster wheel for credits so you can eat you some porridge, and get back to your virtual goggles and your 6x9 cell, or you're going to be already out there and built your own societies, you know what I mean? And with the Creator as the central figure, and out here establishing all these different societies which make up the Creator's kingdom on this earth. It's one or the other. So right now is the perfect time to go ahead and the resources that we got available, the money we got available, the ingenuity we got available. We need to put that into action now. What is niggas waiting on? What you waiting on? Are you willing to sacrifice your time, money, and self-interest for the sake of Jehovah's kingdom? Use your judgment, old man. From the time of the ancients till now, The only progress toward the Father's kingdom has been through what? Sacrifice. And that ain't talking about killing no animals. No, are you willing to sacrifice self? Give up your own self-interest, your time, your money, what you got going on. You dig? To make Jehovah's kingdom a reality in this earth. See, really, if we talk about building the kingdom, it's a lot of inward work we got to do. It's a lot of conversations that you need to have within your own self. Am I willing to sacrifice my time, money, and self-interest? I don't even like that. I don't even like Malaki. He be pissing me off the way he talks sometimes. I can't imagine living around him for the rest of forever. I don't even like this nigga like that. And I know I get on folk nerves sometimes, you know what I mean? But dang, you see, you got to be willing to sacrifice their self-interest and work through it with whoever that is that get on your nerves. You know what I mean? You got to be willing to sacrifice your time, your money. What you got going on? Is Jehovah's kingdom top priority? Yeah, all right. Are you willing to sacrifice time, money, and your own self, your own self-interest? These are questions that gets asked before you can even enter the family. See? Huh? Hold on. Read this again. It said, use your judgment, old man. From the time of the ancients till now, the only progress toward the Father's kingdom has been through sacrifice. What less can you expect? If you sell what you have and give to the poor, behold, your neighbors will imprison you for being a madman. If you abnegate yourself and labor for others, they will persecute and revile you. If you should profess to love your neighbor as yourself, they would mock you. Therefore, I declare to you, O man, in the land of Uz, in the world, in these cities, in these metropolitan areas, the Father's kingdom cannot be. We have to separate and build our own society. Because we start telling people, look, this is how you build the Father's kingdom on earth, but how you do it is polar opposite to what they thinking. Niggas thinking they finna have positions of power. They finna be the big muckety muck over the community. They the ones with the resources. The next brother got the time. The next brother got the money. Next sister got the ingenuity. It's like, nigga, I'm the big muckety muck around here. We come through and be like, nah, it's everything communal, everything all in common. You see our whole deal of abnegating self, communal living, loving your neighbors yourself, that's mocked in the world. People don't think this program could work. As if they've tried it before. You never tried this. Therefore, I declare to you, O man, in the land of Uz, the Father's kingdom cannot be. But you shall depart from Uz, and behold, I will go with you and with your neighbor and show you what? How to build, even as a kingdom in heaven is built. Good night, good night, good night, good night. How to build even as a kingdom in heaven is built. Do y'all hear this? Huh? Wait, if you're getting some understanding, y'all drop a 3,000 in the chat for the arc cycle of Cosmon, man. Y'all know how we do CGG, always cooking. Drop a 3,000 in the chat. I hope y'all got some understanding. Father's kingdom is polar opposite to how the kingdoms polar different. You see, you talking about building the kingdom and it's reestablishing capitalism. Democracy, republics. Easy money. Easy money. Keep on checking this. So watch the ice cold. Let's get into it a little more. Watch this. Y'all just got me out. I'm finna go here next. think it's the game? What you be playing? Y'all think the game playing? Okay. Now you better tell them, man. I've been trying to tell these kids what time it is, Malaki Macabee, man. What's going on, brother? Oh man. There's a book, you know what? I keep telling y'all, we got the blueprint. We got the blueprint, man. Look at that, man. The blueprint. Are you willing to give up time? Huh? Money and self-interest. You're the king. Huh? Think about it. Think about it. In this present condition, most ain't, man. Most ain't. It's crazy because we see people right now coming together with people to one hut, one small house, and using the affiliation to come up. They sacrifice their space, their time, their money, and their self-interest on a low corner level. You know what I mean? Mexicans do it all the time. You look up next year, they deal be popping. You like, dang, what did they do? They were just selling chalupas on the side of the highway, on the side of the street last year. You know what they did? They became affiliated. They became communal. You see? They sacrifice time, space, money, and self-interest in order to make their situation better. See, and that's on a low corner level. So we got examples of it getting done right in front of our face. Right in front of our face. To this day. We gotta remove ourselves out the way, man. And really embrace what this is. Let's get into this book of Jehovah's Kingdom on earth. Read a couple of these and get out of here, you know. Real easy though. And if y'all get y'all on a Wasp, man, it's a great book. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's a great read if you ask me. Somebody that has read it and still read it. It's pretty thorough. It's pretty thorough. Well, look, we about to go here. I want to show y'all this. I mean, everything from engineers to architects is all here. I want to show y'all what you like. Go down here to chapter 5. Man, look at this. Look at this. Hold on, man. Yeah, you know what I mean? We got curriculums for the shorties and all that, man. Because it's all good. Building the greatest kingdom on earth is centered heavily around the short letters, the children. Heavily. Let me show y'all something real quick. I'm going to chapter 5. Oh. Dang, okay. Man. I might have to start at the end of Wisdom College. Yep. All right, so I'm going to go to chapter 4. Hold on. All right, remember we just read that you got to come out of Uz, right? You can't build the greatest kingdom in Uz, which is basically, in today's terms, you know, the cities and and all the metropolitan municipalities surrounding the city, right? The world. You know what I mean? Or if you call them the city, the counties, the suburb, it's all Uz. It's all Uz. Now remember that. It was saying you can't, the greatest kingdom can't be built in Uz. Right? Now watch this. We're going to read the end of this 4 and go into chapter 5. And this is the book of Jehovah's kingdom on earth. We got the blueprint. Not the blueprint. Everybody think we just bragging. No, this is not bragging. It's the truth. That's what's up, Elijah. Salute the brother Elijah Jakes. Tap in with us, bro. You have a whole bunch of questions. You know what I mean? And when we got a nice body of brothers and sisters that really, you know what I mean, study this thing. And it'll be an honor to assist you on your journey, brother. We salute you. You about to get your mind blown, though, man. Man, I'm telling you, I salute that. I couldn't stop reading this deal. Dang. But look at this. Verse 22, it says, this is mankind talking before entering, you know, the kingdom that's on earth. It says, now, therefore, we were unrighteous toward man and false before Jehovah. Therefore, in repentance and shame. Hold on, let's go back up and see what they was doing. Oh, yeah, here we go. We got to go back up a little bit. Hold on, we got to go back up a little bit. Dang. I might as well start. Yeah, I might as well start at 1. We're going to read chapter 4 and 5. Well, I can just get out of there. You know what I mean? I can't even pass none of this up. This deal hit. Subscribe to the channel, Elijah. And then y'all brothers Cal and Prince and all y'all drop y'all emails in the chat for the brother Elijah Jakes. I'm gonna drop mine here too. Reach out to all of us. Subscribe to the channel, all our channels and all that. So whenever we go live, you get a notification. That's my email right there. Honor and humility. STL. You got Cosma and Cal. You got Sila Shalom, Daryl Cosma, my brother Prince Judah. All y'all drop y'all contact info in there for the brother Elijah Jakes. You're gonna have your questions, brother. So tap on in, subscribe to all our channels and all that. Whenever we go live, you get a notification. We in the building. We in the building. All right, let's just read some of this right here. Easy work. It'd be an honor to assist you on your journey, brother. Salute. Salute. Let me show you good. Now let's get into some of this. All right, it said right here, the voice of Jehovah came to Tay. Tay is represents mankind. So you see Tay right there, that's mankind. All right. It said the voice of Jehovah came to Tay, saying, there are quite sufficient to begin the founding of my kingdom on earth. These are quite sufficient to begin the founding of my kingdom on earth. Take your people and go where I will lead you, and you shall all be blessed. So Tay and his people went to an unoccupied country by the river Shalom, so called because Tay had said, I take the babes the Uzians would not have, and I come to a place where the Uzians would not live, and yet I will make it a place of peace and plenty. Therefore, it should be called Shalom, 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 Shalom. City of peace. Right? Notice they not where the Uzians are living at. Notice that? Now look at this. It says, and when they had pitched their tents and fed the children, Tay called them together so that he could address them. All right, remember we talking about building the kingdom, right? Tay said, all things were accomplished by and through Jehovah, either directly or indirectly. If directly, by his inspiration, then all things are done well, and in peace and righteousness, love and wisdom. If indirectly and through other inspiration, then indeed man is answered in disaster and unhappiness. Foremost of all, it must be man's aim to receive light directly from Creator in regard to all things. Hold Hold on. Y'all hear this? Y'all hear this? Look what it says. Notice direct inspiration from the Creator is peace and righteousness, love and wisdom. If it's indirect and through other inspirations, man is answered in disaster and unhappiness. Really? Foremost of all, your top priority, it must be man's aim to receive light directly from Jehovah in regard to all things. To do which, man must approach his Creator in words and conduct, doing in practice the right he perceives in judgment. Your words and your behavior are very important. It proves what type of inspiration you are about. You know what I mean? Look at this right. Now, therefore, from our youth up, we have repeated the prayer, your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Yet not one of us put forth a hand to accomplish what we prayed for. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, but you ain't rolled your sleeves up and put that pain in, though. You ain't rolled your sleeves up and put that pain in, though. See, it's all about practice over this way. You see? It's all about practice over this way. Easy money, man. As it is in heaven, yet not one of us put forth a hand to accomplish what we pray for, and which matter our prayers profane the Almighty. You know that prayer we've been praying our whole life? Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Abinu, Sheba Shemayim. We said it in Hebrew. Kadesh, Minka, Tabo. Yet not one of us put forth a hand to accomplish what we pray for, and which matter our prayers profane the Almighty. For had we been true in heart, we would have taken hold in practice according to our best ability. In other words, if you're praying, you got to put action behind that prayer. You got to put action behind that prayer. What you mean, our Father who art in heaven, your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. But you don't look about this. You don't pick up a shovel to establish this kingdom. You was really true with the prayers that's coming off your mouth. You'll put action behind it. That's the whole point. No matter what you praying. You know what I mean? Jump out there and press play on it. And ask Creator to guide you. That's on the way. But in not doing so, we were false before Jehovah. And he could not answer our prayers in truth. See, your prayers don't get answered. If you just praying, but there's no action behind it, there ain't no answer coming. There ain't no answer coming in truth. Look at this. Moreover, we had said to one another from our childhood up, do to others as you would have them do to you. Nevertheless, we served ourselves only. We did not visit the fatherless and motherless. We did not sell what we could and give to the poor. We professed faith in Jehovah, but we manifested faith in money, soldiers, and warfare. Y'all, I didn't write the book. I only read what's in it. What's mad at me for? You can't. We've heard our whole lives. You can't serve Creator and serve Mammon. We already know this. We profess faith in Jehovah, but we manifested faith in money, soldiers, and warfare. We had said, love the Creator with all your soul, heart, and mind, and your neighbor as yourself, neither of which we fulfilled. We just loose slipping around here. We just loose slipping. Neither of which we fulfilled. Now, therefore, we were unrighteous toward man and false before Jehovah. Look at that. Look at that. If you praying, but there's no action behind it. If you praying, but you ain't jumped out there and pressed play on it to make it a reality, to make it manifest, you are false before the Creator. That lets you know even in your prayers, you got to be circumspect. You won't be out here profaning and blaspheming. You don't want to be doing that, do you? Huh? Look at this. Look at this. Are you really ready to enter the Creator's kingdom? Are you really ready to put in that pain and establish this deal? And then the preaching, the marching, the any of it. It's so much that come with it, but it ain't like it can't get done. Can get done. You did, but you got to be willing. And that's everybody listening, from the top influencers down to brothers and sisters who think they are insignificant, and you're not. Huh? Are you willing to sacrifice your time, your money, and your self-interest to start building the Creator's kingdom on this earth? If the answer is no, then guess what? Whatever it is you claim you're doing will fail. Will fail. Huh? Look at this. Therefore, in repentance and shame, we have come out of ooze. That's what we got to do, because we cannot fulfill the commandments while dwelling in ooze. Behold, we have come away from there to begin a new life upon the earth. Look at that. Look at that. Y'all, this is supposed to be done before you even get into the heavens. Before you even get there. This is supposed to be going down on earth. And what better time to start than now? This is all our war everywhere. In order that our labor and our lives may be given to Jehovah with profit for the raising up of the race of man and for the glory of the Almighty, let us covenant ourselves to him in fullness of heart and soul and with all our mind to practice all the commandments in fullness. What do you say? So who's the covenant? Like, we supposed to covenant, right? We're supposed to be in covenant with the Creator. How do we do that? Again, what are our pledges and who are we pledging to? What are our rites and ceremonies? What's the curriculum for the children? How do you build the altar of the Creator? How do we sit in the crescent and manifest angel manifestation? Like, how do we do any of this stuff? Is it just buying land and growing crops? It's a lot more to it. And we're going to have to be spiritually in tune, right? Because if we're spiritually in tune and locked in, we don't even need a standing army. We got the angel ambassadors of the Creator surrounding us. Millions of angels of light. You see? All we got to do is do good, man. That's it. The multitude answered with one voice, we desire the covenant with Jehovah so that our labor and our growth may contribute to the founding of his kingdom on earth. There's no kingdom on earth without you making a covenant with the Creator. If you understand that, drop a 5,000 in the chat. Look at this. Look at this. I already know. Negroes is spilling yak, and well, hold on. We're going to get to it. We're going to get to it. Make therefore your covenant with the Creator, and so we may be in unison. Behold, we will repeat your words with you so that Jehovah may be glorified. We're going into making a covenant. We're going into rites and ceremonies, our pledges, what we're supposed to be saying. You understand? Like, all that's important. That way it may be a unified effort. So if you ain't discussing covenants, rites and ceremonies, if you ain't discussing how to build an altar of the Creator, like, if you ain't doing all that, pledges and all that, if you ain't doing all that, there won't be no unison. We got to be locked in spiritually on the all person, on the ever-present Creator, locked in. Tay said, hear me then before we make the covenant to Jehovah. Y'all listening? Y'all listening? In the heavens, the angels surround the heavenly throne. Listen to this. Reality of the spirit world. And if y'all ain't peeped, this is very intricate and detailed. Very. In the heavens, the angels surround the heavenly throne with columns of fire and water. And all the space within the circle is named the place of the Holy Covenant. And it is appropriated to worship and sacred rites and ceremonies. There we go again. So your rites and ceremonies come from the heavens. So that means if you don't have rites and ceremonies while trying to establish a kingdom right now on this earth, and you pop up and you do have some, either you just made it up on the whim, you dig, or somebody went and had some type of spiritual communication with an angel, an ancestor, or something to pass this rite and ceremony to you. Rites and ceremonies ain't nothing. You just wake up with your morning breath and sniff the Folgers and say, "Oh, gee whiz, I want to do a rite and ceremony." All of the rites and ceremonies are passed from the spirit world into the physical. All of them. It don't matter what niggas is doing. This is my flesh and this is my blood. This is the bread and wine drinking. That's a rite and ceremony. Christening your kids, where they sprinkle the water on the forehead and draw a water cross with a water on his forehead. That's a rite and ceremony. Circumcision, a rite and ceremony. You see what I'm saying? So it's all types of different rites and ceremonies, but the whole purpose of the rites and ceremonies is to put the community, the family, the empire on one accord, spiritually speaking. That's the whole point. So inside the circle, you know what I mean? You got the throne of God. God is not the creator, but the throne that God sits on is called the creator's throne. Remember, the creator is not in the form of a man, but God is. God is a one-time man. The angels surround the heavenly throne that God sits on with columns of fire and water. And everywhere inside the circle is called the place of the Holy Covenant. All right? Something about these shapes that we're talking about. And it is appropriated to worship and sacred rites and ceremonies. The sacred rites, ceremonies, and all that stuff come from the heavens. Right? So if you don't got them right now, either you finna make some up, you dig, or you got to go tap into whatever force or deity it is that you get down with. We roll with the creator over this way. Now look at this. We about to read the covenant. We about to read what we all must pledge before entering. You thought you could just skip up in there and do what you want to do? You thought you was just going to skip to Malou, tiptoe through some tulips? Oh, yeah, I'm up in here now. No way. But places of amusement and all other kind of entertainments not sacred in rites and ceremonies are situated external to the place of the Holy Covenant. So everywhere outside of the circle. You dig? But yeah, there are places of entertainment, times of recreation in the heavens and all that. You ain't just sitting there with a stiff back screaming or singing holy, holy, holy all day. There's times of recreation, times of amusement. Oh, they go down to heavens, man. You dig? It's just a continuation of your life. You're continuing in spirit. But you know, whatever brings joy and amusement and all that is of the creator anyway. It's just what it is. All right. It's just those places are inside the Holy Covenant, inside the circle that surrounds the throne. Inside that circle is the Holy Covenant. The place outside of the circle is not a bad situation. It's just that's where the entertainment and amusement, you know, where you go to enjoy thyself. Now, therefore, in remembrance of Jehovah's heavenly kingdoms, remember, we establishing Jehovah's kingdom on earth, right? In remembrance of Jehovah's heavenly kingdoms, let us mark a circular line around this place and march in procession, dedicating the enclosure to the Holy Covenant. You mean to tell me, y'all, we gotta draw a circle around the land that we occupy? We got to draw a circle around that circle and everything inside in remembrance of what goes on in the heavens. What we do when we start establishing Jehovah's kingdom on earth, Let us mark a circular line around this place and march in procession, dedicating the inside of that circle to the Holy Covenant. Notice, as above, so below, right? Yeah, whatever land or lands, you understand, that we start establishing and building on, or whatever, we got to put the circle out there. Let us mark a circular line around this place and march in procession. Why? Because the angels in the heavens, right here. In the heavens, the angels surround the heavenly throne with columns of fire and water. So guess what we do? We go ahead and surround the land with a circle. And whenever we come inside within the parameters of that circle, we're mimicking what goes down in the heavens. We're in the Holy Covenant. That's the place of the Holy Covenant. If you understand that, drop a 6,000 in the chat, man. It's easy work. This is practical. It's telling you what to do. You dig? See, the angels and them respond to certain shapes. Now we're dealing with geometry. Respond to certain shapes. You know what I mean? A manifest. If you know what you're doing, you know how to build that altar properly, and you know what you're doing, all type of things start manifesting. Yeah, all type of wind get the blowing, and you know what I mean, healing get the going on, and yeah. You basically making an enclosure or a circle, but it's basically mimicking a vortex. This stuff is ill. It's off the chain, man. Look at this. The multitude said, this is wise by having system and order and a place for all things. Harmony will answer us. Therefore, lead the way and we will march with you. Then Tay marched, drawing the line of the sacred circle, and the multitude, two abreast, marched after him. Tay said, Tay represents mankind, humanity. All right, those who are looking to serve Creator. Look at this. Tay said, I draw the line of the sacred circle to you, Jehovah. In your name, I dedicate and enclose this, your place of the Holy Covenant, to be yours forever. You see what we got to do? Don't just draw the circle and march around it. This is what we say. This is our pledge to Creator. Again, I've been asking, what are your pledges and who are they to? Draws a perfect circle around that sucker, boy. March in procession. Say our pledges. Come into covenant with your maker. In your name, I dedicate and enclose this, your place of the Holy Covenant, to be yours forever. The multitude responded, may I remember your line of the sacred circle. The creative symbol is a circle. May I remember your line of the sacred circle, Jehovah, and comport myself within it for your honor and glory forever. Comport means to conduct myself within it. Y'all finna start drawing circles outside already. Nigga, I'm finna go draw a circle outside. Man, look, I've already been on it. I'm like, man, yeah. Look at this. Tay, within this place, I am about to covenant myself to you forever as a laborer to fulfill your kingdom on earth, for the resurrection of man. The whole purpose of establishing the Creator's kingdom on earth is for the resurrection of your fellow man. There's something about this circle, though. You dig? I seen a picture the other day. It's all ancient circle altars that they found in the earth, all in different divisions of the earth. Like, so this is not new knowledge. This is ancient knowledge, actually. They got circles. Man, it's so many circle altars, you know what I mean? Built with all types of stones and all that. Man, it's crazy. And they in every section of this earth. Going back to the ancient times. What they know that you just now figuring out. How do you build the altar of the Creator? What's the shape of it? You just go get you a whole bunch of what they call them damn things, cinder blocks, and just what? Stack them on top of each other. How do you build an altar of Jehovah? Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Good night, good night, good night. Look at this. Response. May I remember the little ones within this sacred circle? Yeah, the shorties, man. Creator all about them short leggers. All about them. May I remember the little ones within this sacred circle, whom you have given into my charge, for whose welfare on earth and in heaven. Oof. I'm about to covenant myself to you to make myself an example and sacrifice before them during all my life. Y'all heard the pledges we taking? You thought it was a game when they used to have you stand up. I pledge allegiance to the flag. And then, look, every society, in order for you to enter, you got to take some type of pledge, some type of oath. Ours is to the Creator. Ours is to the Creator. Huh? You see, that's it. It is. Together in remembrance of the pillars of light in heaven. Together in remembrance of the pillars of light in heaven that surround the throne of your Son, God of earth and heaven. We build a hedge and a fence her as a lasting testimony that we dedicated to you, Jehovah, the enclosed place of the Holy Covenant. So we got to build that on whatever pieces of land that we talking about, we grabbing for sure. Because the pillars of fire and water surround the throne of the Creator's Son, God in heaven. It's a line, it's a circular line. Everything within that circuit is the Holy Covenant. So in remembrance of that, we build a hedge and a fence here. Where is here? Y'all on the earth. Yeah, as above, so below, right? All right, that's how they rocking in the heavens. That's how we rocking right here. We living like we already there. What's good? That's a lasting testimony that we dedicated to you, Jehovah, in enclosed place of the Holy Covenant. If you understand that we got to take our pledges and we got to build the place of the Holy Covenant on whatever piece of land that we decide to get, in remembrance of the pillars of light in heaven that surround the throne of God. If you understand that we're supposed to mirror exactly the Holy Covenant and the circle that surround the pillars of light that surround the throne in heaven. If you understand that, we're supposed to build it on our land and establish the place of the Holy Covenant on earth, on whatever land we decide to start building on, or lands. If you understand that, y'all drop a 4,000 in the chat, baby. Easy money. Easy money. Let's get into this Holy Covenant. Get into this Holy Covenant then. You know what I mean? What you say, Cal? Cal say they don't got nothing like this, not even close. Man, and that's what I'm saying. So when I get, man, bro, I've been on it, man. I got this over here. What am I, whatchamacallit it? Man, let me show you. Nigga, I've been on it. Man, I've been on it, bro. I don't know. Talking about me, like I didn't straight up, man, bro. I don't know, something came over me. I was like, man, what is? Man, I was reading in Esther about Yahshua and how he one of the things he did was reestablish the ancient order of Moses, right? And then he taught them the accompany. And I'm like, man, I've seen that before up in here. Man, it's the rites of Faithism, bro. You dig? It's basically the pledges and everything, the covenants, the altar building, everything that we pledge and do to come in unison within the Creator's kingdom on earth. You know what I mean? Look at this right here, man. I've been on it, bro. I need to make this deal bigger. I don't know if y'all can see all that, but man, yeah. And I got the back part of it too. Man, look, this was a couple days ago. Man, I'm like, bruh, this stuff is nuts. This deal say right here. Man, we got degrees and all type of stuff. It's crazy. What that deal say right there? That deal say. That degree taught by fifth degree taught by angels and sergeants orally, mortals initiated. Man, bro, let's look at this. Is a Manila. This is a Manila envelope. You put like the little documents and all that. Man, I found this just laying around. Man, I see that in Methacover, the rites and ceremonies of faithism. Man, look, when I tell y'all the crescent is the living altar of God right there. When I tell y'all, we got some, man, look, the gang got some stuff we cooking up. Y'all finna be like, what the, man, look. Serious business, man. Serious business. Not Ezra. Eskra is in Owaspy, Elijah. Eskra is in Owaspy. Pull it up for you. I got you. Sure how this deal work. Yeah, God's book of Eskra. I know it sounds like Ezra, don't it? The story of Yahshua. Story of Yahshua. We got the birth of Yahshua, and then we got his doctrine. Right here. Right here. So this is I read this for you so you can see. Sure as a waspy get down, man. This deal go hard. Then this right here. See. 21 down. That way you can see what it is. Bag drop, boy. Yeah, so it's not Ezra, God's book of Eskra. It's in Owaspy. All right, check this out. Then we'll get back to that chapter 5. All right. This is for the brother Elijah J. Yeah, it's in there. Yeah, it's in there. If you got the PDF, it's definitely in there. But what you say, Prince? A thing inside of a thing. That's right, Carol. You say Prince? That was the first book I read. Man, that deal go man, that deal go hard. All right, so here, let's read this real quick. These are some teachings of the Yahshua. Make sure I'm sharing it at stage. Right there. Check this out. We'll get back to the Holy Covenant and then we'll call it from there. It said right there, to visit the sick and distress, the helpless and blind, and to relieve them, to provide for the widow and orphan, and keep yourself unspotted before men. These are the way of redemption. Look what Yahshua said. He said, you should take no part in the governments of men. So here you go voting and getting mad and political debates. And man, look, he's trying to tell you, you should take no part in the governments of men, but observe the will of the Creator. Being obedient to all governments for its sake. So one thing we ain't on is the overthrowing of any government. If anything, we'll move out the way and go build our own. But we're not overthrowing nothing. They ain't overthrowing nothing. All right. Look what it say. All men are the children of one Father, who is Creator, Jehovah. And whoever chooses him and keeps his commandments is his chosen. So it's deeper than just because you claim you an Israelite or got Israelite blood in you, or you're African or a white man or whatever the hell you claim you are. Irrelevant. You're irrelevant in the eyes of Creator. All y'all is brothers and sisters. I'm the Father. And if you want to feel as if you're chosen, choose me. See, we can end all the bigotry and the racism and the prejudice, and we can end all that madness real quick in a nanosecond. Look, what about this? You can't play here. It ain't safe. You can't even come over here with none of that. Talking about you about to have you some slaves and whip somebody back and hang them in your kingdom. And notice we've been reading about the kingdom of the Creator on earth today, and we ain't read nothing about no damn slavery. Read nothing about no killing and raping and whipping the back off somebody. Go sit your ass down somewhere talking like that. The Creator's kingdom ain't got nothing to do with what you think is coming. Nothing. Whoever chooses the Creator is his chosen. So we do got a chosen people, the righteous. To preserve the seed of his chosen, you shall only wed with the chosen. Only get you a spouse. Get you a spouse that love Creator. How about that? How about that? You know what I mean? I know some of y'all real heavy into, you know, I mean, some people still think it's a master race and my blood is purer than yours, and all you niggas is mixed. Every last one of us. You mixed up with something. Stop it. We can stop all the master race, pure blooded, whatever. I'm saying, like, this is saying whoever chooses him is his chosen. And you run across a spouse that love Creator and y'all compatible, why wouldn't you get out? Why wouldn't y'all come together in a righteous ceremony and you know, marry? Why not? Why not? Look at this. Do not contend with any man for opinion's sake, nor for an earthly thing. All this, yeah, I mean, even be fighting with you over if you think Michael Jordan better than LeBron James or who you think the best running back. I don't, man, the yard. They tell you, Yahshua tell you, don't even be fighting over none of that. Tell you about to fight somebody over an opinion or for an earthly thing. And let your speech, and this is for those of the like of your Charlie Kirks and your Nick Fuenteses and your look what the real Yahshua say. He said, and let your speech be for others' joy, or do not open your mouth. How about that? If your words will give pain. See, a lot of y'all took this freedom of speech thing and went and ran with it and think that you ain't got to be responsible for the madness that come off your mouth. What world you live in? You know you can't just run your mouth without somebody coming to check your temperature. You know this. Huh? Look what Yahshua say. He's saying, let your speech be for others' joy. You run around talking some DEI and Black Lives Matter and the blacks or this and the man, look, you wasting your time with all that. Huh? Yahshua say, zip that up if your words gonna get pain. Don't even say nothing to nobody if what you gonna say gonna hurt them. Close your mouth. How about that? Oh, you don't like the way it come off. Because I ain't saying nothing evil. You just don't like the way it come off. Huh? You don't like the fact that you got to be responsible and accountable for the words that come off your mouth. No more rubber lipping. How about that? Yeah, if you open up your mouth and it's gonna give pain to somebody, zip that up. Niggas mad. Malaki, what you saying? What you mad about? You just saying, look, if you gonna speak, let it be for somebody else's joy. If it's gonna bring pain, Charlie Kirk, shut up. Really? Look what it says. Therefore, be considerate with your speech, teaching others by gentleness and love to be respectful toward some men. No, all men. Yeah, you got to look. If you got a loose lip, you better put a collar on them. Yeah, man. Like, look, watch out. You can't just be running around here talking what you want, or you can just be. Look, as long as you accept the blowback, look, I can give a damn less what you want. All right, well, you already know if you keep talking like that, somebody gonna come check your temperature, right? Sure, I know that. Well, hey, speak on it. Speak on. Respectful toward all men. This is it right here. It says, preserve the sacred days of the rabbis. These are the fathers over the communities. And the rites and ceremonies of who? The Methacover. That's that right here. You probably can't even see, but it's right here. This whole little manila envelope. I got all the rites, ceremonies, the precepts. Oh my God, man, this stuff is crazy. But I noticed that Yahshua was teaching that. You know what I mean? Look what he say. It say for 3 years, Joshua traveled among the Israelites, preaching and restoring the ancient doctrines. And there were gathered in groups of 10s, 20s, and 50s, more than 2,000 Israelites of the ancient order of Moses, who became steadfast followers of the teachings of Joshua or Yahshua. But because of persecution by the apostate Jews, they kept themselves aloof, separate from the world, having signs and passwords by which they knew one another. All that came from the Faithists. Y'all thinking about the Masons today? No, because we was under the attack of all these fake apostate Jews. You know what I mean? We had to come up with secret signs and passwords and all that to know, okay, that's one of us right there. You see? So yeah, Yahshua taught to obey and to preserve the rites and ceremonies. See? The Macabee, the rites of faithism, truth and love. Y'all see that? If you see that Yahshua actually taught to that we are to preserve the rites and ceremonies of faithism. If y'all see that, y'all drop a 12,000 in the chat, man. Drop a 12,000 in the chat. Let's get back to this. I want to answer that for the brother Elijah. Now get to the chapter 5. We're going to close on that. She said, my ops need to hear this. Yeah. It's a lot going on, man. It's a lot going on. Yahshua taught, preserve the rights of the rights and ceremonies of the Chava, truth and love. Dang. They're really going on around here, man. Yeah. Oh, so what we doing is putting together a presentation that's going to shake the entire world up. All right. And it's either up for debate or you ain't on that type of time and you just want us to come through and present it in front of hundreds and thousands. We'll do it. You know what I mean? We can debate it we can debate different, like I know Dr. Reggie Wethy, he's claimed he got a city plan. He can be up there. Whoever else called themselves kingdom building, you know what I mean? We want to see your blueprint. We want to see exactly, you know what I mean, the system in order. We want to know about your rites and ceremonies, your pledges, your covenants. You know what I mean? Who's really ready? Are you willing to sacrifice time and money and self-interest? We want to have a discussion in front of everybody. You did? We want to debate it. And if you don't want to debate it, we'll come through and present it thoroughly. You know what I mean? And show you where we getting everything from, so you won't think we're winging our answers. You did? So shit, let's do it, man. Let's go ahead and the presentation to be done in a few. I'm done really. We just got to put it in document form. You did? But it'll be done. You dig? We want to have a conversation. We want to see who got the best system in order for building Jehovah's kingdom on this earth. We want to see it. You dig? And look, that's fair. That's fair because the people are watching. And the people should be able to see and judge for themselves what the best system in order is at. Is it with that group right there? Is it with that? Or is it with the CGG? You dig? Well, first we got to present it. All right, so let's do that. Anybody that is listening that think anybody that's listening and this interests them, and you would love for us to put a presentation on in front of your church, congregation, camp, whatever, we'll do that. You know what I mean? We'll do that. We just got to, make sure everything's in situation, everything's right for us to travel and make it happen. And man, we on our way. You did? Or if you like, no, I know I got a better system in order and blueprint on establishing the Creator's kingdom on this earth. I know I do, and I'm willing to debate y'all. You dig? And we can line everybody up. You Then let the crowd ask their questions. And let's see. And that way the people can make the right judgment and decision on which way they're going. You know what I mean? Let's get it. Hey, look. I'm all for it. You did, but now it's put up a shut up though. Because other than that, you just winging you even going to get land and starting to just put seeds on it. You still winging. After that, what? Put a greenhouse on there. After that, what? How do we get all these people on one accord? By doing what? Who are we praying to? Well, our rights and ceremonies. There are no rights and ceremonies. There ain't nothing. Like, what's going on? What's the curriculum we teach the children? Easy money. We ready though. The gang got the blueprint. Chapter 5, Jehovah's Kingdom, the Holy Covenant. Then Tay and his host went into the center of the place of the Holy Covenant, and the host formed in a crescent, and Tay stood between its horns. So what it is you got a circle, and then you got a split circle on one of those ends. You dig? And both of those ends are considered horns. It's almost a complete circle, but it stopped like right, you know, man, like right at the top right there. And the prophet or the rabbah, whoever, was standing right there between the actual horns. So it's still a complete circle. It's just the crescent. The crescent is not a complete circle. That's it. You know what I mean? And the people can form in a circle, stay in a circle shape. And then right before it's connected is a break in it right there. And that's where the break is where Tay or, you know, the rabbah or the prophet or whoever will stand. But notice the shape. And remember, the shape is in resemblance of the throne of God in heaven. See? And while standing, so Tay, being moved by the light of Jehovah upon him, uttered the covenant, and his hosts in concert uttered the words after him. All right, so these are the covenants and pledges that we'll be uttering, y'all. So I'm asking cats, what are our pledges and who are we pledging to? What are our rights and ceremonies? How do we covenant to this deity? This right here, y'all make sure y'all highlight this. You know what I mean? Make sure y'all highlight this, because this is all of us is gonna have to take this covenant. See? All of us gonna have to take it. And these words were the Holy Covenant, even as they are to this day. All right, here we go. You, O Jehovah, as you have declared yourself in the book of Jehovah, to you I covenant myself, to be yours forever, and to you only, O Jehovah, O Creator. And I renounce all gods but you, and I renounce all lords but you, and I renounce all saviors but you. In this your place of the Holy Covenant, I covenant myself to you, to be only yours and forever. My corporeal body, my physical body, I dedicate and covenant to you, to be in your service during all my life, because you made it out of your own material. Behold, it is yours. The workmanship is yours. The material is yours also. I have no claim upon it. We have no claim upon these bodies of ours. I have no claim upon it. I resign it to you, and for your service forever, and to my charge you gave it to me, as the habitation of my spirit. Right, your flesh is the house of your spirit and soul, correct? Look at it. Because it is your gift, I will care for it and keep it clean and pure. Before you, so that it may be acceptable to you and to the presence of your holy angels. These are the pledges that we take when we become a part of this family, this community. We got a pledge. We got a pledge on in. We got a covenant on in. We got rights and ceremonies. Look at this. My spirit, verse 16. My spirit I also dedicate and covenant to you, to be in your service forever. So your body, your mind, your spirit. My mind and soul I dedicate and covenant to you, to be in your service now and forever. My whole self for which I am made, soul and body, I dedicate and covet it to you to be in your service forever. Out of your own self you made me, soul and body, and they are yours only, to be used by you forever. Appropriate me, use me, O Jehovah, my corporeal body, my spirit, my mind, my behavior, and my thoughts to be a prophet to you for founding your kingdom, for founding your kingdom on earth. Ain't that what we talking about? We building the kingdom. This is how you covenant with your maker. This is the pledge we take. And notice, everything that you're made of, you're saying, I covenant with Creator. It's all yours forever. Look at this. And I covenant to you, Jehovah, that I will search constantly into my every act, deed, word, and thought to make myself true in the practice of your highest light upon me. Dang. That now and forever, I will search to find the highest light, and I will practice the same toward all men, women, and children. To them, I will not only do as I would be done by, but more. I will do for them with all my wisdom and strength all my life. I covenant to you, Jehovah, Yahweh, Yahuwah, that since all things are yours, I will not own or possess exclusively to myself anything under the sun, which may be entrusted to me, which any other person or persons may covet or desire or stand in need of. Hold on. Neither will I talk any more of myself. Look at this. Neither will I talk any more of myself, either in laudation of what I am or of what I have done. But you shall judge me and hold me accountable for shortness in word and behavior, through which by any means I have manifested self-esteem or covetousness for fame or the applause of men, even if it was for any good I may have done to others. Neither will I any more censor, nor criticize, nor blame as an individual any man, woman, or child over 14 years of age in the whole world for any shortness in word or deed they manifest. For they are yours, Jehovah, and not mine, to be led or driven by me. Look at that. He's like, look, it ain't my business to be censoring and judging anybody over the age of, let's say, 14 about whatever the hell it is they doing. They are yours, not mine. To all these Faithists, my brothers and sisters in your kingdom, I will deal, think, and behave in affiliation as gently and truly as though they were my very own blood and kin, brothers and sisters, or father and mother. Do y'all hear this? This whole kingdom is a family. I don't think about whatever it is I got going on singly. No, we are unit. We affiliated. You see? What you got going on is what I got going on. So we all come together in a concentrated force to do what? We got to go tackle what Deshaun LaFay got going on today. We got to go tackle what Cosmo and Cal got going on tomorrow. We got to go tackle what C-Lock got going on with his production company and all that. We got to go tackle what Imai Huber got going on dealing with the foods. And we got to go, you see what I'm saying? It's like there is no individual. It's whatever somebody in the family got going on, we all got going on. You dig? And they shouldn't have the burden of accomplishing any of that alone. Not at all. Because it's a family. To all these Faithists, my brothers and sisters in your kingdom, I will deal, think, and behave in affiliation. Not in seclusion. Affiliation is gently and truly as though they were my very own blood and kin, brothers and sisters, or father and mother. And over these babes. It's always about the babies, the short leggers and short runners, the inmates or running the asylum. Hold on, look at it. It says, and over these babies, which you have entrusted to me. I will be as loving and true as though they were my own blood and kin, sons and daughters. Ain't no orphans. You don't want that baby, get that baby to us. Look, we'll make sure he good or she good. Yeah, you know what you mean? You finna go get you? Nah, get that baby over here. We got the baby. Real spill, man. Real spill. All we because children get it. They get it. They ain't even clogged up with all that extra experience in life. They got them bullheaded. They get it. Quick too. Oh, creator. Oh yeah, the little 9-year-old girl there talking about the Vortex. Oh, I'm the Vortex. And I look, I said, you be listening, don't you? She was like, mm-hmm. And then she was off in her own little world. You know what I mean? Talking about something else. She just turned 9 too, like last week, right? It's out of nowhere yesterday. Abba, the Vortex. And I looked over my little baby like, you be listening, don't you? She was like, and then she, you know. But the fact she just said it, like ain't nobody just walking around saying Vortex. That means you've been listening. Even when I think you ain't listening, you listening, little baby. You know what I mean? Yeah, my heart rejoicing. I'm like, dang, that's deep. You know what I mean? They, you know, heard my son, they created this, man, that's amazing to me. Like, it's just amazing. It ain't even forced. They just listening when I be doing my thing, when they heard, and I be doing my thing, they just be listening. But they be running through her, clowning, so I don't be thinking they be, man, these little babies soak all that up. Ooh, I'm the Vortex. I look over her little self like, hold on. You be listening? Mm-hmm. I bet. I see. Oh, man. Now look at this. It says right here. Right here, verse 30. According to your light which you bestow upon me, I will raise them up to know you. Mm-hmm. And to be a glory in your kingdom. The first of my teaching to them, to the babies, and that's another question we got. What are we teaching? What's the curriculum for the children? Now we got questions. I mean, we want to see your system in order. What you got going? Have you even thought this far? So now we're about to get into the curriculum for the children, the short letters. The first of my teaching to them shall be to make them know you and to remember that your eye is upon them and your hand above them, to bless them according to their wisdom, truth, love, and purity. Yeah, the creator's everywhere. You told me. Man, I be looking at these short legs because look, when I be live and they beard, they just be running around doing their thing. I don't really be, you know, man, they listening. No, nobody can see creator. Proof. Creator's everywhere, right, Abba? Yeah, you're right. Dang. So the first of my teaching to them, to the short leggers, shall be to make them know you and to remember that your eyes upon them and your hand above them, to bless them according to the wisdom, truth, love, and purity. And I will teach them the way of the communion of your angels, to develop them in suis and sarges. So we teaching the short leggers spirit communication. Know the creator, know the creator's everywhere, ever present, and all that. Bless you according to wisdom, truth, love, and purity. And next we teach them how to communicate spiritually with angels. To develop them in suis. Suis is like being clairvoyant, clairaudient, telepathic. Sarges is how the angels appear to you, like they materialize and appear to you in human form, as if they're mortals. We teaching the shorties this. Look at this. Teaching them to live for the spirit within rather than for corporate. Teaching them to live for the spirit within rather than for their carnal life, the flesh life. Teaching them by books and instruments, teaching them useful trades and occupations. We teaching them how to make music and read and how to work with their hands. We doing this with the short leggers. Teaching them music and worship, teaching them dancing and gymnastics. Really? That's crazy. My baby was asking me about gymnastics. And in all things, developing all the talents you have created in them. See, that's what we both do. Develop their talents. Don't hinder them. Develop them. So that they may grow up to be an honor and a glory on the earth and to rejoice because you have created them alive. And I will emancipate them from infancy at 14 years of age. There go that age again. And bestow upon them the rights of man and woman as to their thoughts, words, deeds, choice, and action. So by the age, if we really doing our job, by the age of 14, you know what I mean? The sons and daughters should already be on full-grown man and woman status. Their thoughts, they should be thinking the way ahead of the world's people, their words, their deeds, choice, and actions. If we really doing our job with these short leggers from birth, or by the time they get to the age of 14, they operate, they so advanced in their mindset, they done surpass the world's people at 14. You see? Throwing upon them at that age the responsibility to you for their thoughts, words, ideas, and behavior as fully as I claim the same to my own self. And now, Jehovah, so that this your kingdom on earth may be known and distinguished from the habitations of the Uzians, we make this our solemn oath to you. Here go our pledge. Here go our oath. We covenant to the Creator. Make our oaths. See, these the questions we got for whoever claiming they got. Dr. Wethy say he got a city plan. We want to see it. We want to see the system in order. Dr. Umar Johnson claimed he got something going on. We want to see it. We want to see the system in order. Look at this. We make this our solemn oath to you. We will not now nor forever make war, nor engage in war, nor take any part in war, nor for any God, Lord, Savior, country, king, or other ruler on earth, nor we aid, assist, or abet, profit war in any way whatsoever. Neither will we now nor forever eat fish or flesh of any creature that you created alive. And we swear to you, Jehovah, in regard to these, our babies, which you have given into our keeping, to found your kingdom on earth, that we will raise them up to renounce war like this, our oath to you, and to avoid the carnivorous habit belonging to the Uzians, all the animal chewing. No. We raise our short leggers not to be chewing on the ground at all. See that? To renounce war. It is. Neither will we use nor permit to be used in Shalom any intoxicating drink. Man, no more 1738, no more Don Julio. Somebody Tito's. Boy, some of us got work to do. That deal say intoxicating drink, weed. Oh man, no chronic. Some of us got work to do, God. Jay. So, okay, so it said right here, neither will we use nor permit to be used in Shalom any intoxicating drink. That's crazy. Some of us like the wine, the yayin, right? Weed. That's a tough one right there. I ain't gonna lie to you. Root. That deal say gum or any other drug for the contamination of human flesh by intoxication or for stimulation unnaturally. Make us strong and wise, O Jehovah, in this our covenant and oath to you, for the honor and glory of all things are yours, time without end. Bag drop. Dang. Oh, weed. That deal said gum. Hold on. That deal said gum in this deal. Gum, weed, intoxicating drink. Man, that's all good though. All good. Hey, some of us got work. Ain't some. All of us got work to do. It's just what it is. You know what I mean? None time bad. If y'all getting some understanding so far about establishing Creator's kingdom on this earth, y'all drop a 10,000 in the chat for your little brother, man. A 10,000 in the chat for your little brother. You know what I mean? Easy money. Easy money. I'm glad everybody getting this understanding. They ain't got her putting this pain in. That's what we're gonna continue to do. Yeah, that's how we get it done, brother. I mean, we got the blueprint. I keep telling man, but we got it. I don't know. You have to look gum up. I don't know. But you know what, man? Look at your own pace. At least you know what I mean, somewhat of what needs to get done to begin, our resurrection process. At least we know. And there's more to it, y'all. Look, we putting together a presentation that's gonna break the internet. You know, and again, I want to see everybody's system in order that's claiming that they have a blueprint for building a kingdom, a society, a community in this earth. We want to see the blueprint. We want to either present it or debate it. You know what I mean? You said the heroin gums. Yeah, we'll present it or we'll debate it. It's all good. I'm saying, you know what I mean? There ain't no more in detail, intricate system in order what Owaski has to offer, dealing with building the kingdom of the Creator in this earth, man. You know what I mean? Like it's boy, man, I ain't ran to a better system in order. When you see what it is, y'all see a little bit of what it's about. You know what I mean? We got oaths, we got pledges, we got covenants, rites and ceremonies. You know what I mean? We got all types of, you know what I mean? Because all these deals go into, we got the curriculum for the short letters. All these deals go into building the kingdom, go into building a society and all that. It's not just buy land and get a whole bunch of raised beds and start, you know what I mean, planting crops. Like it ain't just that. It's way more to it. And shit, you know, the Faithists of old, they knew how to turn a desert into an oasis. Didn't matter where it was. They knew exactly how to turn it into what it is. So I'm glad everybody got some understanding. Praise to the Creator, the make up suns, moons, and stars. You dig? And until the next time, CGG still cooking, baby. I'll catch y'all next time. Love, light, and balance.
him no good, him live on. In the heart of man, Jah no dead, him no dead, him live on and on and on and on. Yo, Jah no dead, him no dead, him live on.
Peace, this your host, Silah Shalom, and this is a Cosmon Teachings in the Words of Jehovah and His Angel Ambassadors from the Cosmon Bible Owaspy. And this is part 2 of the Cosmogony and Prophecy series. And the name of this series, part 2, is called The Nature of Comets and How They Are Made. As I stated in the first series, that vortexian currents are responsible for making comets, sun, planets, moons, and stars. So once a vortex gathers in a sufficient amount of minerals in gas form towards the center of the vortex, and as these minerals begin to condense, they begin to produce heat, warmth, and then light or fire. It is when the vortex reaches this point that it is called a comet. So the first manifested body created by a vortex is a comet before it becomes a planet, as described in the book of Cosmogony and Prophecy, chapter 2, verse 5 through 12, where it states, verse 5, in the case of a vortex in Etheria, that is after the manner of a whirlwind on earth, the corporeal solutions are propelled toward the center thereof in great density. Verse 6, when it is sufficiently dense to manifest light and shadow, it is called a comet or nebula. When still more dense, it is a planet. So here this verse gives the order of how a vortex, once condensed, producing light, heat, and shadow, becomes a comet before becoming a planet. So all planetary bodies were comets at one time in their growth process. Yeah, planets go through a growth process like everything else that is physical. It just didn't pop up and there's the planet. No, it grew into what it is. Verse 7, when as a comet or nebula, the M vortex, which is the negative force of the vortex, hath not attained an orbit of its own, it is carried in the currents of the master vortex. The master vortex is the sun's vortex, because all planetary bodies are subjected to the sun's vortex, which currents are elliptic, parabolic, and hyperbolic. Hence the so-called eccentric travel of comets. So here the term M vortex is the name of the negative force of the vortex, which currents flow in the north and south direction. So this is what we see most of the time when we see a comet. It is traveling with the general currents of the master vortex, which is the sun's vortex, before it has power to receive its own orbit. And when the comet receives its own orbit is when the vortex is strong enough to be independent and sustain itself. Verse 8, at this age of the comet, it showeth nearly the configuration of its own vortex, its tail being the M vortex, the negative force. If it appear to the east of the sun, its tail turneth eastward. If west of the sun, it turneth westward. Verse 9, 2 directions of power are thus manifested, and also 2 powers. First, that the vortex of the sun hath power from the east to west, and from the west to east, to which the comet is subjected. Second, that the comet hath a vortex of its own, which is sufficient under the circumstances to maintain the general form of the comet. The ordinary comet hath its tail away from the sun, but some comets have 2 tails, one toward the sun and one away. In the case of Biela's comet in the year 4 BK, BK meaning before Cosmon, which would be 1846 AD, which was broken while the observer was looking on, is sufficient evidence of the subpower of the comet's vortex. So here this verse explains the 2 powers of the vortex. The first being the sun's vortex to carry the comet, and the second power is the comet's vortex to maintain its own formation. So here it's showing you basically how the vortex is the foundation for any corporeal body, any planetary body, sun, moon, stars, or planets. Verse 10, Interior nebula is generally described as comets, while exterior nebula is usually called nebula. Nevertheless, all such solutions of Kuiper are of like nature, being as the beginning or as the incomplete condensation of a planet. So here it describes how comets, when fully developed, become planets. So your comets are your precursors before planets are actually developed. It's like the sperm cell of the planet. Verse 11, they do not all, nor half of them, ripen into planets, but their vortices are often broken, and they return again into sublimated solutions and are lost to mortal sight. So this verse shows how comets can become planets if their vortexian power is strong enough. And if not strong enough, it'll return to its essence, which is the gas state, the first cause, which is unseen to mortal sight, but it still exists. Verse 12, but nowhere in Etheria is there a solution of Kuiper sufficient to put itself in motion, nor sufficient to condense itself, nor to provide the road of its travel, but its road of travel showeth the direction of the lines of the sun's vortex, except in such cases when a comet's vortex cometh within the vortex of another planet's vortex of greater power than its own. So here this verse shows how Kuiper, which is anything physical, has no power of its own to move. The only way anything physical can be moved or exist is by the vortexian currents which produced it, or if a planetary body comes in contact with another planetary body with a stronger vortexian current, it could be moved and subjected to that planetary's vortexian current as well. So the root cause of planets, sun, moon, and stars, comets, is the vortexian current, the unseen but seen power. And with that, I'd like to say peace and blessings and catch you on part 3 called How Our Solar System Was Created Based Off of Vortexian Current. Shalom.
Mic check, my brother Selah Shalom. All praise, glory, and honor to the Creator, the maker of suns, moon, and stars. Hey, y'all about to get up out of here, little taste. I pray everybody got some understanding. You feel me? As long as everybody got some understanding, it's all good over this way. So, hold on, y'all. Hold on. Yeah, as long as everybody got some understanding, it's all good. Once again, all praise to the Creator, the God maker, the maker of suns, moons, and stars, that always was, is, and ever shall be, the mighty and great Spirit, the mighty and great I am. It's your little brother Malaki Macabee. Megaton light bomb, 1,000,000 tons of light per square inch. Bombing. CGG still cooking, man. You dig? That's when everybody thought we was playing with it. We ain't playing. Till next time, family. Love, light, Cosmo. Wait.